All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena, the Kumite edition. That's right, this is what you've been waiting for. One-on-one debates, anything goes, any topic goes. So let's get started, people. A shout out, first of all, to the people in the chat: Trill Balance, Joe 56984, Wayne Hennessy, Jason Bourne, the Brotherhood, who says this panel is full of dosers. All right. See, things are starting to spice up already. Virtuoso in the chat. Wayne, Wayne already said his name. Kid, the Skull, and Stu, who's in the panel. We also have Recognize the Matrix and Gonzalo. Guys, what's up?
What's going on? I take issue with Brotherhood calling us Deontay Wilder. That's not
Dosers?
Cool.
Dosers?
Yeah. Isn't that Wilder?
I'm slow today.
You big Dawson, you.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, anything goes today, so we'll see how that goes. One-on-one debates, which is what we want. And ringside, Charlie says, Bucho called me a beaner. When the... What the hell's going on today in the chat?
I don't know, man. Just probably Brotherhood starting problems. That's probably what it is.
Guys, we're going to open the phone lines, so you can call in.
The Canelo versus Caleb Plant, to me, that's a good fight, man. I don't know what you guys think. There's probably going to be a lot of complaining.
I'm already complaining.
No, I think it's a good fight. I agree with Gonzalo.
I mean, what's not a good fight right now? Go ahead.
No, I think it's
it's an okay fight. It's not a great fight.
No, it's not a great fight, but Caleb Plant, he has a belt. He's a top guy at 168. I wouldn't say he's the very top guy, but like top 3 maybe, top 4, 5?
Yeah, I guess.
5, yeah, 4. Then he's also undefeated, and he's got that arrogant personality about him. Mm-hmm. He's got that all right. Canelo just the same, it'd be a battle between two guys that think they're the guy.
Yeah. I don't mind the fight. I mean, whatever. I don't care about Canelo's personal business dealings with Oscar De La Hoya. As long as he's fighting good competition and it's fair, it's a straight up fair one, I don't mind.
But do you think it's going to be fair?
Yeah, meaning, the judges are fair.
I don't think he needs any advantage for Caleb Plant.
Probably doesn't. Probably don't.
Already, I mean, if the guys stay training, that's going to be on the 29th or 26th of December. You can already think that maybe there's a reason for that, but that's up to the fighter. If he comes in shape and makes the weight because of Christmas and it's just a month away, month and a half away.
That fight isn't finalized, right? Like, correct? Am I wrong? Because I don't think that's.
I heard it's finalized, man.
Oh. Because on this, I read this article from Boxing Scene, and it was it gave 5 names that Canelo could fight. 1, David Benavidez. That would be a great fight. I think that would be a better fight than the Caleb Plant fight. I think we can all agree on that. Benavidez.
Course, I don't think he's going to take that fight right away. He hasn't been in the ring in over a year. So, with the pandemic and all that. So, I think he wants to start off with who he perceives to be the weakest link.
Okay.
Yeah, Caleb's a good boxer. I don't think he got the power to knock.
Yeah, we're just going to... Hold on. Just Canelo was complaining about the zone and the fact that they didn't want to pay him, what was it, 25 million, 35 million, some crazy amount to fight Billy Joe Saunders. They said, yeah, you can fight Billy Joe or Colin Smith. However, if you do fight these guys, you're going to have to take a pay cut. And apparently he didn't like that. I think he said, okay, I'll take a pay cut, but then it wasn't the pay cut that the zone wanted. They wanted him to take even a bigger pay cut, and that's when he said, okay, fuck it. But fighting Caleb Plant on pay-per-view, Do you really guys think that's gonna sell? People think that Canelo's like Mayweather or Pacquiao. That when he goes on pay-per-view, he gets 1 million buys, no matter who he fights, so 900,000, 800,000. He doesn't get those numbers.
No, he don't get like that because of today's market.
So where are they gonna get the money to satisfy
But for
his?
the but for the market today, he's at least one of the top guys.
That's sad though, because Caleb Plant. I mean, I agree with Gonzalo. It's an okay fight. I'll watch it. Don't get me wrong. It's just a pay-per-view, and when there's so many other options, like this is the best that he can give us.
The guy's a good fighter, man. He's very crafty. This Caleb Plant guy, he's fast. He's got power early. Doesn't have power late. A little slightly better than Andrade. And the guys, I mean, he's on the come up, right? He's got a belt. Interesting story.
Stu, what do you think? Let's get Stu in here.
Think about what?
About the Caleb Plant fight. Like, is that something that's exciting, in your opinion, Canelo Caleb Plant, when there's other options like Charlo, Benavides?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first on my list. That's for sure. Not a fight I'm too excited for. Plant gets knocked out in devastating fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
He needs this guy, and
the guy's not defensively sound enough to fight. You got to be tricky. You got to be slick. You got to be busy to beat Canelo. You can't just. He just doesn't have the defensive skills to beat Canelo. He's going to get pieced up in style. He's going to get counted all night. And whenever Canelo decides to up the
step
pace
it up.
and
step
up, step on the gas, I think it's going to be a short night. Just say that. Look, Caleb Plant, does he hit harder enough to knock out Canelo? No, he doesn't. Golovkin couldn't do it, so he definitely can't do it. So how does he win? I mean, is he going to be able to take the punishment that Canelo's going to be giving him? The answer is no. But look, when he fought Uzcategui, I mean, it was a good win, but I mean, I still saw things there that night where Uzcategui was well overrated. I mean, even on this show, I mean, these fucking experts in the chat. I mean, they seem to get more wrong than right these days, but they were telling us how great Uzcategui was. No, he weren't. He was a good fighter. Yeah, he's a good fighter.
He's a good fighter. He's my friend, man, from over in Tijuana back in the day.
Yeah, but I don't care if he's your friend or not.
He's tall. He's strong. He's a good fighter.
No, he is.
That night, he didn't show up.
But we're talking about Canelo. Yeah, we're talking about.
How long did he? I'll tell you what. How long did he defend his title for?
He met his first title defense was against Caleb Plant.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So look, he's a good fighter, but is he someone that
he's white chocolate, bro.
He's not a world class operator. I mean, he won his title, and he lost it. It's like Darren Barker. He won a title, lost it the next fight.
I'll tell you what I saw in that fight. I'll tell you what I saw. He was piecing up Uzcategui, but later on, like within one round or two, Uzcategui touched him up, and Caleb Plant got really swollen up. That's what I have to say maybe about Plant. He'll get broken up real easy, like within a couple of rounds when he starts getting touched up.
I agree with Gonzalo, man. I think that the Caleb Plant fight is a good fight. It's not the best out there. I don't know what Canelo's thinking right now. He seems to be in limbo. But Caleb Plant is good, man. He's, dare I say, slick, good footwork, quick reaction, quick trigger. And we saw what happened when Lopez fought Lomachenko. That quick trigger made Lomachenko think twice. I know Caleb Plant doesn't hit as hard as Lopez, but he is tall. And let's not forget, Canelo sort of struggles against guys that are running away from him.
Yeah, but he's not slick, though. I just don't think he's slick. He looks slick. I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say, but a man that gets punched in the face that many times is not slick to me. A slick guy is one who evades punches, who parries shots, catch and shoots. Comes underneath shots. That's slick. A slick guy, not one that blocks punches with his face.
Well, he's not exactly blocking. He's not.
Mr. BDA, your mic is sounds fucked up and crackling.
Yeah, it keeps clicking
or whatever. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, BDA. I do know what you're saying, but for me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't think he's good enough defensively to be a problem for Canelo. You've, like I said, the only people that have troubled Canelo are usually defensively sound guys like Floyd, like Lara, and people
Trout.
like that. They're
I remember Trout.
Trout, even Trout was a close fight. I agree. So they're the guys. I mean, punches. I
Guys-
think punches play into his hands. I think, like I said, I think Plant is a decent puncher, and I think that's more. He's a boxer puncher, and I think they're the sort of guys that play into Canelo's hands.
Can you hear me? Do you still hear clicking? Or...
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
Are you serious, man? What the
Yeah, I
fuck?
don't know what's going on, man. I don't know.
Maybe drop
Okay.
off and come back in, BDA.
I already did that. How about now?
Yeah, that's better now. It's better now.
Sounds better.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, look, listen.
It sounds like you're far away.
What?
It sounds like you're far.
Are you kidding? Well, boost up my volume, man.
I'm boosting it up, but for the Discord, they won't be boosting it up. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, how about everybody else? Can everybody else hear me? Or
I can hear you.
all right. Well, listen, Caleb Plant ain't all that, but he's like what, 6 feet tall. Canelo's 5'8". Let's face it. They tell you he's 5'9", but take away an inch, he's 5'8". I think Caleb Plant's speed and height is going to be a problem for Canelo. And I'm not saying Plant beats him, but could be trouble, man. Could be trouble.
Could be a problem early, for sure, man.
He checks
Early
all the
fight.
boxes. Right. They wanted a guy for him to face that's like in his early 30s. How old is Caleb Plant? 29, maybe?
All right.
29.
You know, because he's right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I was just gonna say, first of all, in the chat, people are saying that fight's off. Box says in the chat, same breed sports source, Mike Oppinger broke it. No, he says, Plant fight off, no time to build pay-per-view. Canelo will face Yildirim. Okay, well, anyways, same breed also said that the fight's off, so that's it. I guess the
well,
fight is off.
Yildirim's a terrible fight.
But going back to Plant, I'll just like to add this though. Canelo faced Rocky Fielding and Kovalev. So those fights were above 160. If he fights Caleb Plant,
For
he's
Rocky Fielding,
Yeah.
he fought Rocky Fielding, and then he fought Danny Jacobs back at 160.
Oh,
then he
okay.
went up for the
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's a
above
good-
160. But
Yeah,
I just want to
that's a
say,
good one as well.
Plant would come to fight though. He wouldn't like Rocky Fielding. Let's be honest, this guy wasn't there to do anything.
Oh, fucking useless. Hey, Callum Smith blew him out and around. as
Yeah,
well, do you know what
exactly.
I mean? The fucking guy's useless.
Conor Smith checked him in the first round.
I mean,
so-
Eddie
That's
Hearn,
what he
right?
should have
Eddie
done.
Hearn.
Yeah.
How could Eddie Hearn look in the camera, right, and put on a straight face talking about that fight?
Yo, I showed that. I showed that fight
remember
to my
this?
father.
Dude,
I showed that fight to my father, Rocky Fielding fight. He's like, "Oh, this is fake." He's like, because Rocky Fielding. Remember Rocky
Because
Fielding?
nobody come to win.
He's
I mean,
like-
even in the press conference, Rocky Fielding's sitting there thinking, "How the fuck did I get here?" Do you know what I mean? It's just
he was
just
smiling the whole
it
time.
was
Like
embarrassing, man.
he would go down, take a knee, and he was like smiling. It's like, why? Why are you smiling?
Smiling. Yeah.
But anyways,
I mean,
Palant
it
would come to
just-
fight.
It was
Benavides, all these super middleweights, they would be real. I mean, they're big guys. Canelo is not he's big, he's wide, but he's short. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah, but
Kovalev
the
didn't
super
come to
middleweights,
fight
it's-
neither.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they seem like cowards to me. The Superman don't want to fight each other.
I don't know. to
Benavides,
me-
like,
to me, I
Benavides
think-
hasn't really fought anyone. Fucking Callum Smith fights nobody. Who else have we got? Who else have we got worth fucking talking about? Canelo's up and down the weights, so we never know when he's coming back. I just can't think of anyone else. Come on, guys, help me out. Tired.
Mm.
I mean, there's
68?
there's
Super
there-
middleweight.
Of course,
Super middleweight.
of course, there's Bivol. There's guys
Bivol
like
can
that,
come
guys who
down.
won't- he-
He said,
No, but
He would
Bivol,
never fight those guys.
has Bivol gone down to super middleweight now?
No, but
though?
he said
that's
he
right.
could.
That's right. No, you're right.
But
He's
he
at
said,
175.
Yeah, that's
still-
right.
he's
There's
still got-
talk
he's
about him
still got
going
a
down. Yeah.
yeah.
You've
He's still
got
got a
obviously
belt
you've got Billy Joe Saunders at 168, but fucking hell, I mean he's not exactly set the world alight in that division either. It's
Mhm.
right now it's a division where no one's fighting, nobody. Billy Joe's always pulling out. Callum Smith fights once a year. Benavides fights nobodies. I mean, Caleb Plant.
I think that's
mean,
the guy that beats up. I think I would pick him to beat, not only beat him, like convincingly beat him. I think Benavides beats Canelo, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. I think I think it's
2, 3.
recognize it. There's I feel that little, you know, when the LDBC were trying to find anyone to beat Lomachenko. I get
Wait
that.
a second, what are you accusing me of? Go ahead and say it. What are you?
Well, I'm just saying, you know, when the LDBC, right, when they just kept coming up with these names of guys to beat Lomachenko and stuff. I feel like that's with you. Anyone that's got half a chance, yeah, he's the man that's going to beat Canelo.
The Canelo hate from Recognize, it's getting out of control.
Yeah, Recognize hates that man with a passion.
I'm just I don't like these accusations. That's number one. Two, I truly believe that Benavidez could be the guy. All right, I'll change it. He could be the guy that beats Canelo. That's my opinion.
Look, yeah, I know what you mean, because he's a big, strong kid, isn't he? And he's got the work. The thing is with Canelo, I think when you fight like Benavidez, I think it sort of plays into Canelo's hands because he's just a slick operator and he's a world class counter puncher. And he when he sees an opening, he exploits it and he usually lands on the button. Very accurate, precise puncher. And I think Benavidez would have to. I think he's going to give Canelo problems. Don't get me wrong; he's going to fucking give him all he can handle. But I think it's what happens when Canelo starts landing on Benavidez. I'm not saying Canelo's a monster puncher who's going to knock all these guys out, but he hits hard enough to. He hits hard enough. If you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's a fight. I'll still be picking Canelo to win.
Canelo should be fighting at 160. That's what Canelo should be fighting at. 160 pounds, where he's going to be fighting guys. I mean, yeah, even there, he's fighting guys a lot taller than him with a lot more reach. But at least, like, I look at Benavidez and these guys could beat him by accident. And you know what I mean by that? Like, something just doesn't click right for Canelo. This night, he's just fighting a guy that's too tall, too much reach. And, I mean, fine. If he wants to take those risks and fight good fighters that are naturally bigger than him, I'm okay with that, but he should be fighting at 160 pounds.
Benavidez throws a lot of punches. He's the definition to me of a boxer puncher, and he got popped once he gets going.
And if he can take Canelo's punches, then that would be a tough
Canelo's
night.
in trouble. If he could take Canelo's punches, which I would not be surprised. Canelo could be in for a long fight. You know.
And, yeah.
He would have to. He's a boxer fight, and he's aggressive too. And he goes upstairs and downstairs. He mixes it up.
Yeah, Canelo would have to let his hands go because lately he's fighting very like 1-2. Like, you know, he's picking his shots and everything. I don't know, man. I want to see him go to war, but against a super middleweight.
Canelo reminds me a bit like Lomachenko. It just takes too long to get going, and that's the problem with Canelo. I mean, that's the one thing I frustrates the life out of me. He has too long to have a look, if you get what I'm saying. There's a whole lot of nothing going on in the early rounds.
So many fights. They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, look, that's experience coming through. Yeah. That is experience. But what I'm saying is, when you're in there, when you start going in there with the bigger guys that are busy, before you know it, you could be 3 or 4 rounds down. And when you're fighting the bigger guys, it's the bigger guys that size comes into play in the latter round. So you're playing massive catch up, if you get what I'm saying. You're trying to catch up.
That's what happened.
Imagine Canelo.
Obviously, and then you have to start letting your hands go, and that's when the bigger guy can start hitting you clean. And you know, it's just
that's what happened with
it's
Loma
a silly
and,
tactic
Lopez.
to play. It's all right when you're carrying Amir Khan for a few rounds because that clown's going to do nothing.
No.
Just land on the button, it's over. But Benavidez is a different kettle of fish.
Remember the way Canelo fought Perro Angulo? Imagine fighting like that, but instead of Angulo against the Benavidez, a super middleweight, not a 154 pounder. That's can he pull it off? Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
That might be too dangerous.
Kenshiro in the chat, thank you for your contribution. He says, Stu, I hope you gonna support our boy Kell Brook. Stu, are you supporting Kell Brook?
I'm right. I'm supporting Kell Brook. I'm picking him to win. I've decided. I'm going to go with my heart for once.
I like that.
Look, I'm allowed to do it. You guys can come on here with these outrageous predictions and get away with it. All right, draws and stuff. I'm gonna pick in Kell. Look, I'm gonna get some stick for it. I'll get stick when I get them right. So what's the fucking difference? So I might as well just do.
But seriously,
pick my man Kell. Look, but you guys are overlooking Kell, man. Apparently, Kell's in tremendous shape. I mean, he's been living boxing for the last year. So look, I said Terence is the favourite. I know that, but I'm going to go with my heart. Terence has not been at his best recently. I've not been overly impressed with some of his performances. I think he's got a bit stuck in a gear where he's fighting guys he's much better than, and I think he's struggling to up his game. But I think in this fight, we're going to see a good Terence. But it's going to be very hard for Cal. But something's telling me Cal's going to pull this off.
Okay.
I always scope with my man Cal. The only time I've never picked Cal Brook to win a fight was Gennady Golovkin, for obvious reasons.
All right, now picking with your brain, your mind, who are you picking, Stu?
Well, the thing is, my brain's telling me he has a chance as well. Obviously, if it was to come to betting my fucking house on a fighter, then it'd be Terence Crawford. Of course it would. But look, this is the good thing about boxing predictions coming. It doesn't really matter if we get them right or wrong. I'm going to go with my heart this time. Okay. I want Cal to pull this off, and I really think he's good enough to do it. Whether he does on the night is another story.
That'd be amazing if he does, too. Man.
It will. This is it, man. I mean, people are writing this kid off. This kid's, you don't lose your natural talent like that. And the only thing that's ever hindered Cal Brook was fitness and dedication. But look, when it comes to talent, one of the most talented guys in the UK. I've been saying it for years, and I think if he's on his game, Terence is in for a hell of a night. Because even Billy Joe Saunders says he hits like a fucking middleweight, mate. Trust me.
He said that he plans to retire Terence Crawford out of Stu. That's what he said.
Well, if that's what... Look, they all say that, don't they? But, I'm not looking at that too much. All I want is the win. And I'm going to go with my boy Cal. I'm paying for that, by the way. I don't mind paying for fights that I like and I think that are worthy. That's a worthy fight for me, so I will be paying for that.
Brook by decision?
I think Cal Brook can knock Terence Crawford out. Terence Crawford is very vulnerable, man, in mid-range. At mid-range, he is massively vulnerable, and Cal Brook does his best work there. His combination punches. Let's be real. I mean, he was pushing Golovkin back with them shots. All right, he was never going to stop Golovkin, but Golovkin, they were hurting Golovkin. Don't get it twisted. Anyone that says them shots weren't hurting has never took a shot in their life. Of course they were fucking hurting, and they were pushing him back. And Golovkin was getting frustrated because he started tapping his gloves and getting frustrated, getting angry with himself because he couldn't see these shots coming. Because Cal comes from it's that style that Brendan Ingle. They come from unorthodox angles with their shots, and that's why they're hard guys to fight. And I think
I heard Triple G said that they were delicious brownies. That's how he.
Yeah, he punches out the fly, similar to Pacquiao. He don't have to load up, and he's strong enough.
Look, the strike.
Even though he don't load up, he gets power on them.
The thing is, Terence goes a bit wide. He throws wide shots sometimes. When he gets it, like I said, we've always said, I don't like repeating myself, but when he's hanging around too long, throwing them wide shots, Cal's short, crisp punches on the inside, the mid-range, are going to be a problem for Terence. Especially, and look, Cal Brook is 1-2. His jab and his straight right hand is a work of art. Trust me. Terence is in for a hell of a fight. It's whether Cal Brook can take the pressure from Terence, because Terence can overwhelm you at times with his work and his punches. He's a very good fighter, Terence Crawford, but he's there to be beat. This man is not unbeatable. I'm telling you that now, he's not.
I want to get Corruption because he has to say something because he has to go, I think, later. So go ahead, Corruption.
Yeah, thanks, King. Yeah, I'm working from home, but I just wanted to make a couple of points about Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, did we lose him? What the fuck?
You recall on the last show I was mentioning about the contractual situation with the zone. Now, look, I have a little bit of sympathy for him. I mean, I really wanted to lay down some uranium bombs on him, but I've got a little bit of sympathy for him because, as I mentioned before, he was not party to the contract between the two. Now, he's the fighter, so it's a bit of a gimme that he's not able to see what the Zone and Golden Boy were negotiating. At the end of the day, he's the main man, so you've got to have a little bit of sympathy. But if you go back to the Sergey Kovalev and Canelo fights, when they showed the UFC fight, now that was not a spur of the moment event, nor was it the Zone saying that we're unable to compete with UFC numbers, so we're going to make the biggest pay-per-view fight away. No, it wasn't. What it was, the Zone wanted to showcase Jose Masvidal to the Canelo boxing fans in preparation for a future super fight. between the two. That was their whole proclivity in that idea. Now, Canelo said later on that he was against this shit show. He didn't really want to fight Masvidal, and that was one of the reasons why he wanted to get out of his contract.
Well, I'll salute Canelo for that, because at least he's showing that he doesn't want to be part of this fucking clown show.
Do you know how I know that's right? Because do you know how I know corruption is right? Because Eddie Hearn has got no standards anymore. This is a guy that's just thinking about money. He doesn't care who he's getting these fighters from, where they're coming from. I mean, look, you'd stick a one-legged fucking guy in there if you knew he was going to sell tickets, right? He just doesn't care. And look, he's sort of sold out his own fighters from the UK for YouTubers recently. He's on the nuts of fucking YouTubers that play games for a living. And this is Eddie Hearn. He's sitting there backing these guys instead of backing world-class operators and professional. But he's a clown. He's a
corruption
clown.
Stu, Eddie Hearn doesn't have to do anything with that. That was Golden Boy specifically. Remember that.
But DAZN, it was DAZN though, and Eddie Hearn is calling the shots at DAZN, bro.
Right, hold on.
Stu, Eddie Hearn is not exclusive on DAZN. That they brought in Golden Boy.
I know that, but Eddie Hearn would have doing. Sorry, corruption, but Eddie Hearn has a say in every fight that's signed with DAZN. He's made that clear. He's even come out and said that. I'm at the table of negotiations of every fight that's being made. Right,
corruption.
In DAZN. He's there. He said he's even there at Canelo negotiations. Right. I'm not saying he's the one that's brought the idea up. I'm saying he's the one that would sign the idea off in a heartbeat. That's my point. If that idea gets taken to Eddie Hearn, he'll fucking mate, his dick will get hard. That's what a cornball this guy is.
So did DAZN miscalculate how much revenue they would get out of Canelo? Did they overpay him? I mean, 250 million. Maybe did they realize, you know what? We're not gonna get our money back with Canelo. We're not getting enough subscriptions.
Million.
What do you think, corruption?
That is absolutely when you incentivize fighters. So you're basically structuring a baseball deal or an NFL deal for Canelo. So there's a fixed amount over a certain period. So the fighter is not really dependent on some of the intangibles like what the gate receipts are going to be or what pay-per-view is going to be, etc. So it's one of those contracts. So DAZN has to rely on a massive increase in the number of subscribers to sort of compensate for a predetermined amount. But Canelo ultimately wasn't wiping the needle. He wasn't pushing the needle. DAZN already said that with the Danny Jacobs fight. I mean, that fight wasn't even sold out. So
I mean, when Eddie Hearn tried to sell us KSI and Logan Paul, I mean, this guy, he actually believed in this fight. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was. Well, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was just and the cheek of this man to put it on pay-per-view in the UK. I mean, these are not guys that know how to throw a fucking punch properly.
Put it on pay-per-view in the UK. That's dumb.
That's disgusting.
That's like, okay, Eddie Hearn.
Now you know why I can't stand Eddie Hearn.
He's one of those dirty pimps who sells you a girl that's fucking disease infected. He just puts makeup on her. He throws it to you. Like, hey,
but the fact that they're planning on doing another one is because I guess there was some sort of success with that KSI Paul whatever Logan Paul fight.
Yeah.
So
Eddie Hearn's that fucking guy in. Eddie Hearn's that guy in Full Metal Jacket. You know the little Vietnamese guy that brings that prostitute on the back of his motorbike and drops her off all the soldiers.
We love you long time.
Exactly. We love you long time. Eddie's probably the one saying that. He's such a cornball. I mean, look.
All right, we're getting out of topic. Fuck Eddie.
No, we're not. We're not getting off a topic. That's the problem. This is the fucking boxing we're talking about now. This is how embarrassing it's become. I know you don't like to think it. I know you think boxing.
I love
is a
Eddie Hearn. That's
thing,
why,
man. Yeah, we know, Bucho. You think boxing is, it's the greatest.
Yeah,
it's the greatest sport of all time.
Butcho's the fucking Don Lemon of the BDA recently.
Yeah, I was laughing yesterday because I was like, oh wait, did he call me the Don Lemon of fucking boxing? It's true. I'm not gonna disagree with that. However, also, I want to say that let's make boxing great again. That's gonna be our new motto. Let's make,
Let's
because I do
respect it.
believe this is the best sport in the world. Yes, they stand up, they fight, they're not on the ground. To me, that's a bit boring. I know some
Hypothetically
jiu-jitsu
speaking, it
aficionados
is
love
the
that.
best.
It is
It
the
it
best
it,
fighting.
it should be the best sport in the world. It's one on one. You got really good athletes in there, that are fighting. They're showing their skill set. They win on, small margins when you put the top fighters in there against each other. Yeah, it should be. It should be. So when Eddie Hearn does this shit with, taking, now I get it from a money standpoint because this is what he's thinking. KSI, Logan Paul, those guys got YouTube channels, right? And they
Mhm.
got like over 1 million each, both of
Yeah.
those guys. So he's thinking, man, if I could get 60% of their viewers to join the zone, or even 50, right? That's going to be a lot of subscribers because we're talking about two guys that are over 1 million YouTube subscribers. So he's thinking that's what's going to happen. But then he puts it on pay-per-view in the UK. Like, what the fuck out of here?
Well, was it a success?
I don't know what the numbers were, but
Anybody? Because they were thinking
Yeah,
of
but
doing another
Mucho,
one. Yeah, go ahead.
you got you got to remember that DAZN UK are now in direct competition with Sky
Sky.
Sports and
Yep.
Sky Sports box office. So if there's an any greater reason for, say, Eddie Hearn to keep the belts on Anthony Joshua or to solidify all of the DAZN fighters, now is the time, and that's why his corruption has no boundaries. As I mentioned, he definitely wanted to screw Alexander Usyk. I didn't
Mm.
quite finish my point last time because it got, but there's so many reasons why. Already articulated the sort of in-ring favoritism that it was to Chisora, whilst Usyk was the home fighter, smaller ring, two judges giving it 1-1, 5-1, 1-3, which is outrageous. Chisora wins one ladder round. That fight's a majority decision draw. The WBO mandatory becomes probably still vacant as a rematch. He clearly doesn't want Usyk the champion.
No.
The fact that Usyk has to jump through all of these hoops, the Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora is bullshit. The WBO made him super champion state. They gave him that status even before he moved to heavyweight. So technically, he could have fought for the WBO heavyweight champion in his first fight. Now, if that was Anthony Joshua, who was undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and if Joshua had convinced Eddie Hearn to say, look, I'm moving up to heavyweight, but I'm ready. I don't need any tune-ups. I want to fight the world champion. You better believe Eddie Hearn would have
Oh,
made
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
fight. But he's making Usyk go through all these unnecessary roadblocks. And don't be surprised if Eddie Hearn coerces Usyk to fight the winner out of Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin. And why the fuck that fight is a
Well, that
rematch
fight's
is
off,
Well,
just
if
apparently.
he
That
if
for
he
the
fight's off,
takes
isn't
it,
it?
you
drop
gotta blame
Povetkin.
Usyk. But if he takes, I mean, you also gotta blame if Usyk does accept, then you gotta give some shit to Usyk because why would you? You don't have to. You like you said, corruption. He has the right to fight the WBO champion right away.
King, it was
Yeah,
a
but that Povetkin
lockdown, that
fight's been
fight. But
cancelled, isn't it?
Oh,
It's been
hold on.
cancelled. The
I mean,
Povetkin
Usyk
fight's
and
off.
Derek Chisora, there was a lockdown happening in the UK, but Anthony Joshua mysteriously turns up despite all of these lockdowns. No. Eddie Hearn made sure that he got through all dispensations to make sure he's at the fight so he can scout Usyk because Eddie Hearn definitely doesn't want the belts going from Usyk to Anthony Joshua.
Mhm.
Absolutely no way. Eddie Hearn realizes now that if Joshua is going to lose his belts, he's done a risk assessment. He understands that the only way he's going to get compensated is now that because Fury is no longer involved in the contractual situation with Deontay Wilder, he wants Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, preferably in 2 fights.
Mhm.
Tyson Fury has already said that he's not going to fight Alexander Usyk. He calls him a nobody. He would rather vacate the belt. Eddie Hearn's looked at all of the permutations. That's the fight he won. He doesn't want a Russian-speaking Ukrainian as the world heavyweight champion
No.
because for him it's all about financial punity for him, and Usyk doesn't quite reflect that. He's a road warrior, and road warriors build up hardcore boxing fans because we appreciate the magnificence of what they're doing in the ring.
Exactly.
People like him and Lomachenko are world record holders. They're the first to do stuff, first to beat Evander Holyfield's record, the first to be an undisputed 4-weight world champion. Lomachenko, the first guy. I mean, these guys are doing great things, but ultimately they're not really going to have that base because they're road warriors. Boxing relies on the casual fans. So if Usyk
Exactly.
was just predominantly based in the UK, then maybe he could start selling greater number of tickets, etc. And Eddie Hearn can therefore
Yeah, 'cause them
use
dumb
him as a bit of a
motherfuckers.
lucrative star. But
He
it's a
would.
tough proposition. He doesn't see it that way. He doesn't care
Them dumb,
who's got
them
the
dumb
belt. It's all
motherfuckers
about the
in the
money for
UK.
him.
You know, in Enter the Dragon, you know, he's on that boat and they're all watching them insects fight. Them
Yeah.
fucking dumb bastards in the UK. They'd pay pay-per-view to watch that. A green fly against a cockroach or something. They're dumb motherfuckers, man. Got no look. They're my fellow countrymen, but I got to say what I see. These guys they're the reason why Eddie Hearn has become this odious little man, because he can just feed crumbs to these fucking people. They're sitting there like Oliver Twist, aren't they, with their hands out asking for more. I mean, it's
Stu,
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn basically tried to do the same thing in the Estrada and Carlos Cuadras 2 fight. I mean, we did it on our channel. DAZN redacted the third round by 25 seconds to save Estrada, the DAZN fighter, because they don't want to ruin the potential super fight between Estrada and Gonzalez. I mean, Estrada got dropped in 2 minutes and 1
That's
seconds
right.
the third round.
Oh yeah.
And basically,
What happened in that round? Exactly. Corruption. They would the bell rang a little too early, right?
basically, he should have had 25 more seconds. He was only given 39 seconds. So Estrada was dropped in 2 minutes and 1 into the third round. But they reduced the round, so it was only 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Now, Cuadras floored him. And the reason why they did that is because if you remember the first fight, 1 knockdown was crucial on the cards to give Estrada the victory, although I felt it was a much more convincing victory. So DAZN had a bit of a predicament at that time, thinking Estrada's gone down. A knockdown decided the fight in the first round. We're in a bit of a precarious position. But if you look at what referees do nowadays, they don't allow a fight to go to 3 knockdowns. They normally say 2 knockdowns. And then if the fighter gets up after the second knockdown, they normally give that fighter a little bit to say if there's 3 or 4 more consecutive punches landed and nothing comes back, they're very quick in this safety era to stop the fight.
Correct.
So if Estrada goes down, say 25 seconds again, the second time, because he was clearly in trouble on the ropes when the bell actually rang on 2 minutes and 35. Well, it was 3 showing on the clock, but it was actually in real time, it was 2 minutes and 35. They reduced it by 25 seconds. So if he goes down again, then Cuadras still technically has time to land 3 or 4 more punches, and therefore there is a greater propensity that the referee comes in and stops the fight. So yeah, there was definitely corruption in the fight. You can see it. Although Estrada did recover from 1 knockdown to stop Cuadras in the end, but Cuadras was laying down some bombs early on in that fight, and Estrada was hurt again by the end of the third round. So that just emphasizes the corruption in the sport and the fact that DAZN now, because of the problems with their balance sheet and they don't have the reserves anymore, Novotny has already restructured the company. You can actually look at the way the finances are now. So DAZN are all about making these super fights, whether it's cross-promotional or in-house fights. They don't need any third-party fighters coming in and the revenue splits. So they're just trying to protect these so-called super fights as much as they can.
You just made me open my eyes to something. Corruption. That's how you get Estrada. He's a slow starter. Before he gets smoking, when he's cold, catch him early.
Yeah.
And that's how you beat him.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
You got to
right.
catch him early before he starts warming up.
Yep.
Going
Fucking
back,
Lobito just killed a chicken outside, man.
what?
He killed the chicken.
Oh
The
shit!
neighbor's
Who?
chicken.
Who
Go
killed
eat
the
it.
chicken?
My dog,
Oh,
fucking crazy, man. I like. Can you
Jesus.
pick him up? Get the chicken.
Okay,
God,
what's
man.
going on here? You get the chicken. Oh, you get a free dinner. Um.
That
Oh.
fucking Lobito needs putting down, doesn't he? Fucking thing.
Vito ain't playing no games today.
Killing chickens and shit. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. So Stu's shitting on UK fans. No, seriously. Listen, I agree. Usyk is a great fighter. If you don't appreciate Usyk, then I understand. You're not like a hardcore boxing fan. Maybe you know. What I mean, you haven't really followed his career. You don't really
Corruption makes great
understand.
points
Yeah,
about
this
that,
guy
man.
has
Like
been fighting all over the place.
the
But
guy,
yeah,
they end up gaining. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Bucho. They end up gaining like these hardcore boxing fans like us, but they don't really. I think it's because it's poor marketing, right? If you was to
Mhm.
market like, look, this is my guy Usyk. He goes to other people's country and he beats them.
Mhm.
You know, you can definitely market that. But
Can
it
you?
seems like yeah, I think you
But
could if it's
I mean,
Eddie Hearn, right?
yeah.
Eddie Hearn's got a pretty good reputation, especially in England. Just promote him better. I mean, and promote him around the world.
His time's running out. I think he has to fight the heavyweight champion now. I don't know why we have to wait. I think Precise mentioned this, and it's true. Like we know how good he is. What do we need here? Like we need to see him fight 5 heavyweights to finally get a
I mean,
shot.
you heard what
Yeah.
Usyk said. I'm ready now.
Oh, he
I'm
is,
ready
man.
right now. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Butcho,
Yes.
Eddie Hearn doesn't want to make that.
No. No.
That's contrary to what he's saying in the media, etc. It's only the WBO who can actually order the fight once the BO's rotation happens. It's always tough when you've got a fighter who's holding 3 championship belts. The sanctioning bodies have to agree a timetable, some sort of a system between them as to who has priority in the mandatory, if it's the IBF. It's the system they got to, but they don't like these unifications. I mean, the sanctioning bodies, the egotistical pricks that they are, they don't really like working with one another. It's not
Mhm.
really beneficial when it comes to. But if it's a fighter who generates a tremendous amount of money, then there's a bigger individual revenue split. That's the only time they're going to agree if it's a huge marquee star. But the thing is that's why Usyk boxed within himself, because he knew Anthony Joshua was scouting him, and Eddie Hearn made sure Joshua was there so he could scout him. That's why Usyk didn't exemplify everything he could have. He could have disposed of Chisora in the 7th round when he was hurt, round 8, round 11 as
Yes.
well.
The thing is, though,
You will
I
see
mean, Eddie
if
Hearn.
that fight ever happens, you will see Usyk unleash the
Oh,
full repertoire of these skills.
sitting on his punches or something. Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah, but Eddie Hearn, though. Eddie Hearn, right? How many times is he going to try and sell us Chisora on pay-per-view? Guy's got fucking 10 defeats.
Yeah.
Chisora showed more skill than a lot of these heavyweights.
Yes.
Let me tell you
He
that.
has, yes, but he has
He's-
shown skill, but I don't want not enough skill for me to get my money out and pay for it.
No,
I mean,
not
let's
a
be real.
pay-per-view. I agree.
Look, he's a British level fighter. Let's be real. He is. I mean, he's a
I don't
good
think
fighter.
so.
He's exciting.
I think he's better than
look,
that, Stu. I think he's a
What?
real. Like,
No,
I think
to
he's
me,
better.
world level. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, but world level for me is when you around the titles, near winning a title and stuff, and
Okay.
he's miles away. How many chances has this guy had and lost every one of them? I mean,
He almost beat Dillian White twice.
yeah, but he did. But I told you, Dillian White's got so many flaws. I mean,
does.
you know, Dillian White's got his own problems.
I
And
wouldn't be surprised if he gave Povetkin a good
stylistically,
fight.
yeah, stylistically, that fight they gel, don't they? It's just a stylistic matchup, shall we say, that gels. So I don't mind watching that fight, but to pay for it again, because Povetkin's pulled out. Apparently, Povetkin's got COVID. Yeah, more like Eddie Hearn shit in his pants and thought that we need to find a way to get out of this. Give Dillian White a warm up, and then we'll go for Povetkin after he's passed his second COVID test. Do you know what I mean? That's I smell a rat, man. How can fucking Povetkin, right, have COVID? Yeah, in Russia, man. I was watching a football game. They're all fucking out on the streets. They're all in the football stadiums. There's fucking COVID. There's no COVID over there, man. So how has Povetkin got COVID? Come on, man. He hasn't got it. He's been duped. So because I don't believe the confidence is there in Dillian White from Eddie Hearn.
Hmm.
It's hard to go back in there with someone that's just knocked you the fuck out. I mean, look, and he's not really had a long time to digest this either, is he?
Hmm.
And these people, when Tyson Fury and Wilder fought, they had a couple of fights in between, didn't they?
Yeah,
So
a year.
they've
Yeah,
got,
more than a year.
yeah. So this is Dillian White's just going straight back in there, and I think Eddie's probably thinking, yeah, maybe it's not a good move because I'm going to con these fucking divs in the UK of a few more pay-per-views from Dillian. So I'll stick someone else in there, and I'll stick. Yeah, I'll give him Chisora again. I'll give him Chisora free. How about that? I mean, come on, man. I won't be paying. I'm a Dillian White fan, and I will not be paying for Derek Chisora v Dillian White.
All right.
Or Perez.
Yeah, no, I agree. Why would you? What the? Let's take a phone call. 510, you're on the air. 510.
Hey, let me respond to Stuart.
Is this Rasclat? You're breaking up.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
No.
It's barely. Sorry, I'm in an area where it's a little bump. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You guys can
Go
hear
ahead,
me.
Rob.
Let me.
Yes.
Let me test myself. The chat room is faggy. Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
we hate the chat.
Okay. All right. Good. Hey, Stu, did you just blame Dillian White for not having this Povetkin rematch fight?
No, I didn't. I didn't blame Dillian White at all. I said Eddie Hearn is found a way out for Dillian White because I just don't think he has confidence in Dillian White right now. Because Dillian White's not had time to digest this knockout. He's been shoved straight in the deep end again, and I don't think that's a good move. I mean, look.
Yeah, but wait a minute. He was training for a rematch, and then Povetkin tested positive for the fake COVID.
Yeah, I'm sure he did pass positive. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I smell a rat.
No.
I mean, Eddie Hearn had. Hang on a minute. Eddie Hearn had COVID last week. And,
Oh yeah, you're right.
No. Let me.
Eddie Hearn had COVID last week, and the guy's been doing press conferences, roaming around the country like nothing's happened.
No
Just
underwear.
Get out of here, man.
No underwear. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. You have to let me finish my point before you cut people off, Stu. Stuart Little. You have to let me finish. I don't believe that he
Well,
has
stop
COVID,
chatting shit then,
but
fucking
I'm
chat.
saying, what does that have to do with Hearn? And I mean, Dillian White. What does that have to do with Dillian White?
If you believe that, then I pity you. If you believe that that's the case, I pity you for believing that. Because
no, I don't believe it. No, listen, I don't believe
I don't.
it. What does that have to do with Dillian White?
Butcher, can you explain to him, please?
I don't know,
I'm
man.
not going to explain 3 times. I just didn't. I said it hasn't anything to. Dillian White will take the fight. I have no doubts about that. I'm saying Eddie Hearn's finding a way out for Dillian White. I'm saying Eddie Hearn is trying to find.
Yeah. He doesn't believe in his fighter.
He doesn't believe that Dillian White is ready to go in there again. That's what I'm trying to say. I just don't. I'm not saying Dillian White will fight Povetkin tomorrow. He'll fight him tomorrow. I know that, but I don't think Eddie fancies it, and I think this COVID is another scam. It's been used as an excuse because let's be real. Povetkin's fresh off the plane. Next minute, he's got COVID. Yeah, Eddie Hearn, the man that's got COVID, had COVID last week, doesn't have COVID. I mean, come on, man. Where are we today?
Okay.
I mean, this fucking COVID is the biggest scam since 9/11.
All right, I understand where you're coming from. I thought that, so we're on the same page. So, because Luke Campbell has COVID also now, which means Ryan Garcia is going to fight a cherry pick now.
Well,
Luke Campbell has COVID-19 also.
Well, that sucks. Who's next? You know. But anything else?
That means well, I'm saying it seems to me that COVID-19 is going to be the new excuse for these hype jobs to get cherry picked.
Hey, that's a good point, Rasclat. Never thought about it. You're right.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
it is true. We're already seeing it.
Because Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney are both hype jobs. One ain't got no punching power, and the other one is fast with no punching power.
Good point. Good point. Something to think about, people. Something to think
Now,
about. Anything else?
now, yeah, I want to talk about Usyk.
Okay.
Usyk is going to be the Devin Haney of heavyweight.
What does that mean?
Because he don't got no power and he can't hurt not one heavyweight. Okay?
Okay.
I said 2 years
That's a
ago.
load of
2 years
nonsense.
ago, I said 2 years ago. Let me talk. I said 2 years ago I want to see Chisora and Usyk fight because he will be the tester for moving into the heavyweight because Chisora comes to fight. And what I saw in Usyk is he's not going to have enough power to keep these big heavyweights off of him.
Did he hurt Chisora though?
I think he hurt him with some shots. It
Yeah.
was more like he was getting exhausted.
I mean, he's not
Well,
Mike
he stunned
Tyson.
him. I mean,
No.
well, it's accumulated punches. Of course, accumulated punches eventually start hurting. But I just don't see the great Usyk, who is better than Evander Holyfield. I don't think he's going to do great things in the heavyweight.
Well, we have to wait and see. But
Well,
corruption.
definitely
I
not
think
be allowed
corruption
to
wanted
juice
to
up.
jump in.
He's not allowed to be juicing up. That's for sure.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say, yeah.
Well,
I mean, another Hearn fag boy in the chat, right? Saying that none of us know anything about boxing. This is the Hearn fag boys for you from the UK. The guy sitting there with a football top on talking about boxing. Get out of here, man. And this is what we're up against. A bunch of fucking drunk football fans. You know, let's be real, most football fans, right? They go,
Which club?
singing songs at night. Look, most men are out with women, getting on it with women, man. Fucking not these guys. They're sitting there singing songs, cuddling up with guys. Oh, Anthony Joshua. Faggots,
Pathetic.
a lot of you.
This guy's pathetic. All right, hold on. Ruslot, anything else?
Yo, Rascalot.
Yeah, I have one more.
Ryan Garcia got power though.
Ryan
Yeah,
Garcia has
Ryan
power.
Garcia is a hype
Rascal is
job.
just deluded,
Ryan
man.
Garcia is the internet champion.
Nah, he lands these glancing blows as he's knocking these fighters out, man.
We gotta wait and see.
I can
I
just
agree.
tell he got
I mean,
power.
Yeah,
I don't have to wait
I'm
to
on the
see. I
fence
can
on
already
this one.
tell.
knocking out.
A lot of people, he hasn't
Yeah,
faced
yeah.
it. I can tell by the way he throws his punches. He's got power. I don't have to wait and see nothing.
Yeah, he got power. Yeah, Gonzalo. He knocked out the painter, the guy who painted my house last week. That's the guy he's knocking out. He's
Joe
knocking
Blow?
out a gas station agent.
Corruption, go
Yeah,
ahead.
That
Corruption.
that gas station agent was outboxing Javante Tank Davis until they robbed him and
I don't give a
adjudicated
shit
the
about
punches at
Tank
the back of the head were
I
legal
don't give a
punches.
shit about Tank Davis.
Hype job? What do you think
Who
about
gives a shit about Tank Davis?
Were you
I
impressed
don't give
with
a
Tank
shit
Davis?
about any of his prospects.
Oh shit.
I don't give a shit about any of these prospects. All these prospects are bums.
Shit. All right. Well, there you have it, man. Anything
Nobody
else?
gives a
Last
fuck about
comment?
your
Alright,
opinion
so-
here, trust me.
And let everybody know Holyfield is the greatest cruiserweight of all time.
All right. There you have it. Thank you,
Yes,
Rasclot.
I
Take
are.
care. All right, that was Rasclot.
I forgot to ask him about
Evansfield. Sorry,
Oh
Evans.
yeah, but
I'm
no, listen.
calling him.
According to the Hearn fag boys, Johnny Nelson's the greatest cruiserweight of all time, isn't he?
Johnny
Yeah, I
Nelson
wouldn't- I
was
wouldn't.
fantastic.
All right. Let's
They like
take
the
another
way he
phone
wears
call.
those tight shirts.
And
That's
about,
what
I
it
called
is.
him Evans Fields. Evan Fields. It's Evander Holyfield. 719. You're on the air. 719.
What's up, man? Well, I don't get what this show is about. Is it about Usyk? Is it what?
Anything goes.
It's about anything you want it a bit.
Kumite.
What do you want to
Anything
talk about?
Yeah.
What do you
What do you
actually?
wanna
What do
talk-
you disagree
this
with?
ain't
I know
the
you disagree
debate
with
show.
everything we said. Go ahead.
Who want to debate me then?
Who wants to debate on what topic? On which topic?
Well, yeah.
Well, let's
yeah.
start. Let's start with
Anytime.
who's your favourite fight. Who's your favourite fight, so we know who we're talking to.
Yeah. Who's
My
your
favorite fighter
Errol Spence.
Yeah, well, we know who we're talking
for
to.
entertainment.
Welcome to the welcome
purpose, I'ma
LDBC.
say
Welcome
why.
all them sort of chorus. No, I'm only joking. But now you carry on. What do you want to debate? Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Let's debate that.
Let's
now you
debate.
tell me why. You tell me why Errol Spence beats Terence Crawford. We'll start with that one.
Okay, I'll tell you why. Terrence Crawford is overrated when it comes to his fundamentals and his technique. Errol Spence is superior when it comes to the basics. Terrence Crawford gets wide when he's trying to take you out. Terrence Crawford, he got too much of a killer instinct where he think he can knock anybody out until he run into a fucking brick wall, which will be Errol Spence. Errol Spence will knock him the fuck out. I think he'll walk him down. He'll put body shots on Crawford like he never experienced. Whoever even tried to put body shots on Terrence Crawford and break him down round by round. Nobody.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Nobody even attempted that. Crawford ever fought even have the ability to do something like that.
Yeah. I actually agree with the caller. So if anyone's in the panel that fancies Crawford in this, they can step in because there's no point me debating the guy I agree with.
I disagree with him because I want to disagree with him. Basically.
Okay, well, go ahead. Recognize.
Play devil's advocate.
Listen, I think you're over exaggerating. Let's just put it this way. I say that he'll be able to equalize. Terrence Crawford, Crawford will be able to equalize Spence's body attack by catching him up top. Anyway, that's bullshit. I agree with you. I think Spence would kill him. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to argue with you about.
Hey,
that one.
Brotherhood, what do you think about Alexander Usyk?
About who?
Usyk.
Oh, here we go. I didn't realize it was Brotherhood.
Usyk
I wouldn't have asked him.
Bro. Usyk was like 2 or 3 rounds away from looking like Lomachenko did. It's a damn shame, bro. I love Usyk, and I'm saying this. I picked Usyk to win, bro. These Ukrainians been letting me the fuck down, man. What's going on? I think that whole country need to go back to the drawing board.
Brotherhood, Derek Chisora didn't do a damn thing. He did what he always does in a world title fight: lose. I mean, come on, man.
Bullshit.
I mean,
bullshit.
Derek Chisora. I want to say, Brotherhood, please. Derek Chisora said he lost the fight. The man that was in there taking the punches said he lost the fight. So how did you have him winning? I mean, David Haye, the biggest fucking fraud in British boxing, the biggest liar and biggest fraud around. I mean, this guy got his toe out for fuck's sake. Even he couldn't keep a straight face when he was trying to say, well, you could have, if you'd have done it like this and seen it like this, well, you could have seen Chisora winning it. It was just, even his own team didn't see it. So how did you see it?
Bro, I don't care what they was paid to say. I'm telling you what I fucking saw in the ring.
Why would someone pay David Haye to say anything about you?
Is David Haye not paid to report on that channel or whatever that channel is?
He's Derek Chisora's manager, bro. He's Derek Chisora's manager, so he's obviously going to back his boy.
Exactly. So he managed his fighter and told him, you better say exactly what the fuck I said, because I'm getting paid to do this. And if not, your ass is grass. Now, let's talk about what actually happened in the ring, though.
I didn't think about it.
Usyk got walked the fuck down. If you scoring this off of the boxing criteria to where it's like ring generalship and all that, man, Usyk wasn't doing. The only thing Usyk won was defense. The other three aspects of boxing, Usyk wasn't doing shit, really. And this is a Usyk fan. I had Usyk #1 pound for pound. And I said this on y'all show multiple times. So don't even question what I'm saying.
Like, as your number one pound for pound boxer.
Nah, come on, man. You did it. You could. Hey, I'll tell you what. If that's the case, you couldn't wait to get him off that pound for pound list. By the way, you're down.
Fuck no. Hey, it ain't my fault. He finally faced the real brother, a black man, and then he
come on, if that's a real brother, that's a real brother. If Derek Chisora is a real brother when it comes to boxing, then you're in big fucking trouble because that guy can't.
You don't get more than a real brother than a guy from Africa.
He couldn't claim the winning prize if he had the winning raffle ticket in his fucking hand. Get out of here, man. He's a loser and always will
trying to
be.
take shots
And stop bringing fucking race. Stop bringing race into this because if I remember a few months back, hang on a minute. Stop bringing race into this because if I can remember right, a few months back, one of your brothers had his head caved in with a dodgy glove. So how about that?
I thought this was a racist show. Y'all
right. Well, that's why you're here every week. Then that's why you're here every week because it is a racist show and you fit in really well here.
It is a racist show.
I bought front row tickets to this show. Yeah, I bet Dillian White
you're one
knocks
of the
Usyk out,
big,
man. I changed my mind about Usyk. Dillian White knocks Usyk out.
Yeah, well, Dillian White just got knocked the fuck out. Dillian White just got knocked the fuck out himself.
If he catches Usyk with a good shot, he could knock him out.
Yeah, of course he did.
Man, Povetkin knocked Usyk out. So what you mean?
So
Povetkin knocked Dillian White out. So what is that saying? Of course he can knock out a guy like Usyk.
I'm saying it's more than one guy that'll knock Usyk out at this point, man. I had him on the top of my list, but these Ukrainians let me down. I'm done with these Ukrainians.
So
man.
Brotherhood, who's number one now on your list?
Are you done with Deontay Wilder?
Number one now on my list.
Yeah.
Are you done with Deontay Wilder?
The number one on my list is to be determined because Crawford better look good.
Answer that. I wanted to answer my question. Are you done with Deontay Wilder?
Are you done with Go ahead.
Are you done with Deontay
Wilder?
Wilder
Is the best American heavyweight in the past 10 to 15 years.
That's sad.
Yeah, well, that says a lot. That says a lot for America.
Well, that just shows you.
Well, that says a lot for America, doesn't it?
I'm not even gonna argue with you on that, but I'm just.
How can you have Usyk pound for pound number one and then says Derek Chisora beat him? I mean, it just don't make sense. Come on, man. I mean, look, it was not a great fight.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, bro. Chisora was piecing him up. Y'all gonna sit here and act like he wasn't?
All right.
You saw what you wanted to see, man. I mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean,
bro, no, I didn't. No, I literally told y'all on this show, y'all about to see Usyk, a real technician, compared to Lomachenko. I said
he did
Usyk,
say that.
I said Lomachenko was the poor man's Usyk, bro.
He did say
that.
I
really believe that. Until
yeah, but I'm not saying he didn't say that. But
yeah,
he
didn't mean
it. Yeah, we all say, hey, we can all say things. It's whether we mean it or not. And he didn't mean it. Look at the hatred in his heart for Usyk. He brought race into the. Look, I bet he sat there.
That's a stupid comment. That's a dumb comment. Yeah.
I bet he fucking sat there praying that Chisora landed.
Papachenko need to be fired. He the worst trainer of the year. If it was a trainer of the year award, they need to make worst trainer of the year award, and that's Papa Usyk.
Hey, I tell you what though, we should have a worst caller of the year, and you'll take that quite comfortably. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, come on, man. All right.
Yeah, and JD,
it ain't my fault.
is a great trainer. JD's is a great trainer, right?
All right.
Yeah, JD's
the best. All right, Brotherhood.
I've heard he fucking spit shines.
Brotherhood.
Worshipping
I heard he spit shines a boot like no man does. So
all right, 2 minutes left. Guys.
That white man, JD.
2 minutes left. I just want to hear one last comment from Brotherhood. Your thoughts on Devin Haney. 2 minutes.
Devin Haney,
number 2.
Back like I said on the last show, if Devin Haney was white, then if he got knocked down 2 times like Fury did, y'all would still be saying Devin Haney schooled him. But he didn't get knocked down 2 times and still get his performance called the schooling. He didn't get knocked down any times. He dominated the whole fight. He won every single round, and somehow he looked like shit. But Fury knocked down his ass 2 times, and somehow he schooled somebody.
He's not fighting.
Hey, brother, can I predict something quickly?
Y'all didn't want to hear me say that on the last show. Y'all wanted to cut me off.
We can. Okay, go ahead, Stu.
Look, Brotherhood. Look, I've got a prediction for you. Your hero, Deontay Wilder, will never find his balls again to get in a boxing ring. How about that for a prediction? Oh. You will never see the Wakandan King in that ring ever again because his balls have gone. His balls have gone.
Well done.
Trust me.
Next time you see Wilder, he might be knocking out the best fighter in the UK. His name Anthony Joshua, right? Because it ain't.
Well, no. He's already fought. He's already fought the best fighter in the UK. Got his ass whooped for 8 rounds or 7 rounds. I'm not even going to give him an extra round. He got whooped.
Y'all
the 7.
Same people that call Fury. Y'all the same people that call Fury a cherry pick, acting like he got.
No, I didn't. Never in a million.
I'll have to stop you. We didn't say that. But anyways,
Yeah,
brotherhood.
you're making up stuff.
We gotta move on. We got other phone calls, but thank you for calling. Jump in later on StreamYard, whatever, if you want, or call again.
Stop worshiping that white man, JD's.
Yeah, that's right. All right, take care, man. All right,
Yeah,
next
man.
call. 480. You're on the air. 480.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? What's on your mind? Go ahead.
So I'm gonna go a little bit left field. You guys keep talking about the prospects, right? I feel like you're leaving somebody out. I think Shakur Stevenson is actually the most talented of the whole group. What do you guys think?
Could be. He's definitely got skills, bro. He looks, you know, like a guy who's a student of the game, so he could get better. Yeah, I just want to see him in better competition. I mean, then you might be right. Like I'm not sold that Devin Haney can't be the best out of the group. He just needs to be in there with better competition. You know,
no one's saying he's a terrible fight. This is what I'm saying. I mean, people get the wrong idea. No one said he was a terrible fight. We just said it's a terrible performance. And guess what? World class fighters have them. It happens in boxing, but that wasn't a good performance. I mean,
no, he didn't knock out
certain people. Certain members of the panel that come in and try to make everything sound fucking like it's butterflies and flowers, but it's not. That was a poor performance. And when anyone that said anything about that performance, this certain panel member wants to have digs at people in the chat and stuff because
Devin Haney's performance too. That was a good performance, man.
I mean,
I
agree
with
listen, it doesn't take a lot to excite you, though, does it, Gonzalo?
Well, can I say something? No, his calling card is not power. You're never gonna get him to be a power puncher.
Oh no, but who's talking? I never
becoming a star. Good luck becoming a star.
If you're
let's get to the caller.
Yeah, you're right. The caller.
Don't listen to a word I fucking say.
Let's get to the caller.
Don't fucking listen to a word I say, man.
I listen, man. I want to. Okay, let's get to the caller, then we'll get back to this. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, and another thing is, as far as Teofimo, that was a great performance and everything, but I think Lomachenko doesn't belong at 135.
No.
I feel like a lot. Yeah. So,
I agree.
Caller, I would say this. I
feel Haney would actually give Teofimo a better fight than Lomachenko at that weight.
Who did he say he would think?
Haney and Teofimo. Haney would give him a better fight.
Yeah. Actually, no, not a better fight. What I'm saying is, he would be able. There's certain things that Teofimo beat Lomachenko because of the inactive early activity. I think the size played a difference when he looked at Teofimo. He might have been a little bit intimidated to do what he does, right? What he usually does, where that might not work against Devin Haney, who's just as big as him in terms of height and long limbs, long arms. So, that the caller's right. I agree with the caller. I mean, I don't agree.
No one's saying this kid can't fight. No one's saying he hasn't got talent. But if that was good enough for you the other night, then I just don't know what to say to you. I mean, you really do need to fucking get a hobby or something that's going to bring some excitement in your life.
Stu, you know what it is?
That was dreadful. Dreadful.
It's hard to assess that performance because, for one, all right, he's fighting Gamboa. Gamboa is way past his better days. And two, he went 12 rounds. But the one thing I give him is that he beat him every single round. Now, the one thing he didn't do was drop him. He didn't drop him. He didn't stop him.
That guy was a mess in there, man. Come on. Fucking Gamboa. Like the shape of Gamboa.
I have one.
He shouldn't even have passed the medical.
One last comment.
Have passed the medical,
mate. Caller, one last comment. Yes.
So I'm a little bit biased because he's my favorite fighter, but honestly, I feel Errol Spence is the best fighter in the world, and let me tell you why. He proved against Mikey Garcia. People thought he was just going to, walk Mikey down and knock him out, but he proved in that fight that he can box. And then against Sean Porter, he basically played Sean Porter's game and brawled him and beat him at his own game. Because he wasn't interested in He wasn't interested in outboxing Sean Porter if you watched that fight. It was just a brawl, and he beat him at his own game. So Earl showed that he can do both. He's not ducking anybody. He didn't take a tune-up fight even after getting in a car crash. So that tells you that he's the real deal. That's my point.
So against Danny Garcia, what does he like? Can he impress you somehow if he knocks him out, or what if he just wins a decision? Is that still impressive? Do you even care about that fight?
Yeah, I care about that fight. I think he'll stop Danny Garcia, honestly.
Oh.
Even if he don't stop Danny Garcia and he clearly wins the fight, I'm gonna give him credit for it because
you gotta give him credit. Garcia, but do you give do you make an argument? Can you use that as an argument? What I'm trying to say is, if he outboxes Danny Garcia, can you use that as an argument as to to claim that Spence is the best fighter pound for pound because he outboxed Danny Garcia?
No. No. Even if he knocked him out, it's still a guy within his weight. But I do agree that, look, if this is worth anything, I think, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, I think Errol Spence is the best welterweight, and there's a lot of competition there. So yeah, I would say from what I've seen from him, his last couple of fights, you guys know how I feel about his last fight with Porter. I mean, to me, that shit
was a good fight.
Yeah, that was.
Hey, and you know what? Recognize.
Hold on. Caller, thanks for calling, man. Take care.
Thanks, Paul.
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, and the guy says he feels okay now, right? So hopefully he's doing well physically.
Yep.
After the accident.
If he's good, then as boxing fan, at least for me as boxing fans, that's a good thing. I hope he's, because I kind of want him to pick off from the Sean Porter fight and see how he keeps growing from there.
Pete, you can jump anytime you want. Scale Bender. Uncle Pete.
What's up, boys?
So many names. What's up, man? So yeah, we're talking. What are you talking about now? Spence, the accident. Yeah, listen, we gotta wait and see. I mean, who the fuck knows? We'll see if he's okay or not. He can always use, if he has a bad performance, I guess his fans or himself, most likely his fans, can always use the accident as an excuse, right? Well, he's coming off an accident, But
I mean, then don't get into a fight with with a big guy, with a reputable opponent in Danny Garcia.
Yeah. Hey, who's a better fighter at this? Sorry, I just wanted to say something to the prior conversation. Who's a better fighter, Gamboa or Chisora at this point?
Probably Chisora.
Probably just by a little bit, right?
Yeah, not by a lot, but just...
Yeah, and the Usyk and Chisora, they had a competitive fight. Was that an exciting fight? Was it a bad performance from Usyk?
No.
We can't say it was a great performance.
He was fighting in a little ring. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. It was a very small ring. There was a lot of low blows going on there, but Usyk was fighting a bigger guy. Listen, Usyk is not a natural heavyweight. He's a small heavyweight.
Not compared to these guys. He's
a small heavy. Yeah, but back in the 70s, whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but no, right now he's a small heavyweight. The WBC's coming up with a new heavyweight division. I don't know if you guys heard.
Yeah, it's the Bridger weight. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
At this point, man, if Usyk's not looking,
so it's I think it's
Bridger.
From 200 and so it's the limit is 225, I believe.
Who's gonna care about the division? Who's gonna care about the division? Who's gonna want to become the Bridger champion and not become the heavyweight champion? You know what I mean? It's so ridiculous.
They're probably gonna come up with another belt.
Deontay Wilder.
The Bridger champion.
Stupidest thing of all. That's just to make more money, and they're gonna fail at it.
The WBC.
There's not even. Hold on. The pool of heavyweights right now, and sorry, but the pool of heavyweights in the last 15 years has been very poor, though. Like the amount of good heavyweights that we've gotten, I don't know. It keeps deteriorating. They're all fat. Not all fat. We've had some good bucks, but I feel like most of these contenders are just not that good. Technically,
if you think about
physically,
the 90s,
go ahead.
If you think about before the 90s, or maybe even the 80s, the best heavyweights, some of the best heavyweights were 6'2", 6'3", 225 at most. Where today the best heavyweight is fucking 6'5" or better, and he weighs 250 plus pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? They might even have the better chins too. Think about a David Tua, Ray Mercer, Mike Tyson. right?
Yeah, they were all, chin, power, skills. Now it's like skills are out the window. Speed. Nah, man, this is, well, whatever. I don't know how we got into a bridge division. How do we get into this shit?
Is it Bridger or Bridge?
I don't know.
Like a
Bridger.
I thought it was Bridger, which I don't know what the fuck that means.
They should just call it junior heavyweight. It sounds better.
I think so. That's what they. Okay, you got cruiserweight. Cruiserweight was always some fuckery going on. I can remember you could compete for certain sanctioned belts at 200, and the other ones you had to do it at 190 until they like finally made it official. Like,
you know what I found interesting, man. When Joshua was gonna fight Ruiz in the second fight, he brought that up, and he's 6'5", but when Ruiz got on the scale and he weighed over 270, he said that prior to the fight, man, this guy should be fighting that super heavyweight for a guy that's 5'12" inches tall, fucking 6 feet. Joshua was the one that said that, the big guy. That was weird.
Hey, I just jumped in, man, because I heard you guys saying, some of you, well, today's heavyweights are crap compared to the past ones. I remember a conversation we were having one time about that supposedly today's fighters are better quality. So we're just saying just the heavyweights suck and everybody else is better?
Just the heavyweights. They're lazy now, I think.
I think a guy like Usyk reminds you of the Muhammad Ali heavyweights. You know, the 6'3", 215, 220 kind of heavyweights, almost like a Vander Holyfield. Vander Holyfield was what, 6'2", 220. You know what I'm saying? So these type of guys, like they're still around. You can see them, but they're not the top guys. Because I mean, the top guy is 6'5" or better, and he weighs 250 plus pounds. You know, so it's like I get why they come in with the Bridger weight. The Bridger weight, I think I'm saying that the right way.
Sanctioning
right?
fees.
Go ahead.
Sanctioning fees.
Sanctioning fees, yeah. But I remember when the cruiserweight division was pretty new. Man, not like I remember every detail, but I'm saying that there were certain belts, if I remember correctly, that so there was a cruiserweight division. It was 190, but there were certain belts you could fight for that you can maximum weight was 200 pounds. I remember that clearly as day. So there's always been some fuckery, and then they finally, like in the 90s, I want to say in the mid to late 90s, late 90s, they changed it to 200 pounds. They changed it to, no fucking around, no competing for a certain sanctioning belt at 190 and another one at 200. They said the whole thing is going to be 200 pounds.
Hey, how about a 186 division? I mean, they should have made that instead of this bridge or whatever.
185 185, 186 sounds nice. That sounds nice, yeah.
Why not?
You know what, man? I don't want more divisions. Just
me either, man.
No more divisions. In fact, if they should be cutting divisions. But you know what? It's interesting. 175 pounds. It's the type of division where you can have a guy that's big against a guy that's on the smallerish side, and it's more pronounced than in the welterweight. For example, when Roy Jones fought David Telesco looked like a fucking cruiserweight in there.
Telesco was way bigger than him.
Right, because some guys, they can 168 to 175. That's what, 7 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still, I mean, that's some of these motherfuckers come in weighing 190.
Telesco is you know what? You're right. Telesco is a natural 6 feet 6'1", no over exaggerating. He's 6 foot tall or 6'1", and he walked around back then 200 pounds solid.
Jeez,
like that was his walk around weight. He used to train in the gyms out in Long Island, and when you would see him, you just know that's a big motherfucker. That's not a little man. That's not a middleweight. That's a big man.
Jesus. 314, you're on the air, man. 314.
Hey, what's up? Hey, not just like the Brazier or whatever the hell they're talking about. That sounds retarded. Like, that is the dumbest thing in the world. Like, why you wouldn't just finally jump light heavyweight up, that title, or that name. But also, and Mayweather said the other day, like, we're talking about adding more weight limits, and we're not talking about getting rid of more titles. Like, all these different belts is retarded.
I agree.
Like, this is killing the sport.
Yeah,
these
well,
different
that's
belts.
still happening.
Confusion. It causes confusion to like who's the real champion.
Yeah.
It's like this is dumb. Yeah.
Oh,
think it's terrible.
people have no clue. Well, it's like just this conversation, you know, what we're talking about. We're talking about like Chisora or Usyk, you know, or you know, there's dudes they want, you know, that don't even know that stuff's going on because they're only watching WBC. You know, it's so messed up right now. Depending on what you're watching, some people don't even know it's like I think PBC. They don't even talk about. Is it a WBA belt or whatever?
WBO. Yeah, we don't talk about the WBO.
Yeah, the WBO. They don't even talk about it. They act like it doesn't exist.
Because Terrence Crawford is the WBO champion. Yeah, I think PBC.
Yeah.
I think people that do that, they're just full of shit. Anybody who does that.
Yeah.
Man, the sanctioning bodies, they want more weight divisions. That way they can tax people.
Of course.
I mean, these people are shameless. That's why the last episode when we were talking about lineage and, well, he's got that WBC, so, but this guy's, he's supposed to fight that guy because he's the real WBC. Fuck the alphabet organizations, man. These motherfuckers just want to, I mean, think about it. The WBC, they come up with the Super Champ, Diamond Champ, Copper Champ, Comrade Champ. It is absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah, like the whole gold and all this nonsense. I don't even know what's better sometimes. You want to be the diamond or the world, or I don't even know which is supposed to be better.
The Mayan belt was up there.
It's
you know, I mean, it does like it's one thing to have like regional champions, but they have like gold. What they got? Gold, diamond, and all this nonsense world, garbage. And then there's like the real champion, and then there's franchise. It's stupid.
You know, holding titles today compared to yesteryears, you see, it was more like prestigious because there was only like one belt, then they went to 2, then 3. Where today, now, not only that they got 4 like sanctioning or recognizable world sanctioning belts. Then on top of that, you got these little underlinks under that. So let's say you're the, you know, and then that becomes confusing. You're the franchise WBC, but then there's the regular champion. So who holds more status than the other? It's stupid.
Well, also a big problem, like something that's always aggravated me. It's like when you watch the rankings, because you play certain rankings. Depend on who you are. Like if you want to play the WBC route, you go up one chain, or you know, if you want to play the IBF route, whatever. But like that, when you look at the rankings, they are so different, and so many of those people don't belong anywhere near the top 10 or top 5 for sure. It's just aggravating. And Charles Martin's a 2. I'm from St. Louis. I don't want, you know, Charles Martin is not a top 2 anything. Yeah,
I mean,
former heavyweight champion.
St. Louis.
They had the WBA. Oh, wait a minute. The WBA, they had a dead guy. They pushed up a dead guy in the ratings. I mean, that just tells you what you need to know about it.
Sounds familiar?
No.
Yeah, Joe Frazier is number 5 right now.
Voter fraud.
Sounds very, very familiar.
Voter fraud in the history.
Hey, by the way, Bucho, I got bad news, man. I got bad news.
What?
I don't know if you mentioned it. I just read Luke Campbell tested positive for Corona. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about
I thought about Biden.
In the history of American politics. We have voter
and
fraud.
also,
I told you, innit? I told you, man. It's a load of bollocks.
Another thing, though, that I read here in my favorite website, Boxing News 24, which is more like a blog site than an actual news site. But they talk about rumors quicker than Ring TV and all that. So they're saying that Canelo Alvarez is actually considering Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant. I mean, so it's not just Caleb Plant. He's actually considering Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders for December 19th.
Because he's not going to get enough money with Caleb Plant.
Canelo gets far too much stick, especially if my man recognised, man. And the thing is, I'll tell you something now. Canelo could go in there, right, and knock Tyson Fury out cold, and recognise, would find a way to criticise the performance, say that Tyson Fury dived.
He dived. Like no
he dived. He took a backhander. I mean, there's just no way he can find it in his heart to give Canelo some credit. But look,
no,
Stu,
Canelo's good. He's good.
Stu,
I
Canelo,
over exaggerate with my criticism.
yeah, I know, bro. But I find it quite funny, to be honest. You recognise that I do, because I know how you feel when you've got a hatred for a man. It doesn't matter what people tell you, how
I
true it
don't
is.
like him for some reason. I don't know what it is.
It just doesn't matter.
It was hard for me to finally give Canelo credit. Like when he knocked out Kovalev, who was my guy for a long time, man, I felt it hurt me to give Canelo that credit. Even though I think he got Kovalev at the right time, it hurt me.
Yeah, but that was a good fight. I mean, that was the fight that caused Precise to have a mental breakdown, didn't it, and go on the run for a while.
Oh, wait a minute. He's taking shots to Precise.
Here,
Precise, I know you're listening. You show up here and set Stu straight, man.
Fight.
He's getting a little bit. Stu's getting a little bit too big for his britches, man. He's going after everybody.
Stu's trying to take over.
Now, mate.
Stu's taking over.
I'm fucking Edward Woodward in the Equalizer. I'm coming after you all, man.
He fucking BDA. He told me I should put my dog down. I fucking got angry, but I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
No, but you know what? It's true. Some guys.
Sorry, Gonzalo.
One of the harshest comments I ever read in a message board was back in 2006, I believe. No, 2007. Somebody was saying like, "Hey, what should Joe Calzaghe do now after he beat Mikhail Kessler?" And one guy goes, "Kill himself." I go, "Holy shit!"
What?
he just tweeted out this.
All right, caller. Thanks for calling in. All right, man. Take care.
Hey, all right. Talk to you next time.
All right, guys. We have more phone calls. So what do we do? Let's go through them.
Take them.
585.
Can I
You're
just
on the
make
air.
a couple of points, please?
All right.
Corruption.
Caller, hold on. Let's corruption. Go ahead.
I just want to piggyback a little bit regarding this conversation regarding this new weight division. Now, it's no coincidence that it was the WBC. They may be the only sanctioning organization who endorsed this new weight division. Mm-hmm. Now, remember I was telling you about the franchise status in which Devin Haney's belt was not considered unifiable, so he wasn't the real champion. But a week earlier, Jamel Charlo, his WBC belt was unifiable against Jason Rosario. But the WBC have created two different rules for the same belt in two different weight classes. The only difference being that there's a super champion status at 135 pounds, but there isn't a super champion at 154 pounds. Now, that's point one. That's the WBC's contamination, dilution, and confusion. Point number two, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. It's an exhibition fight. So isn't it bizarre how this fight is now subject to WBC open scoring and clean boxing drugs testing? Since when is that applicable for an exhibition fight? This is clearly a case of the WBC recognizing that there might be a bit of curiosity involved in the fight. Mike Tyson's profile is back out. He's doing his podcast. He's got 1 million views, etc. There's a lot of nostalgic boxing fans out there, so they might be curious. The pay-per-view, some of the networks have taken the fight, showing it on pay-per-view. So now the WBC are almost gate-crashing the party, and they're overstepping their jurisdiction as a sanctioning body, and they're trying to be promoters, which is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know, are you saying that you think this is an exhibition for the new weight class? Because Mike Tyson.
No. It's an exhibition fight. Period.
Right.
Yeah, but the WBC, they're gonna do that, right? I mean, where there's money, there's a WBC right there with whole, coming up with a belt and all of this shit. But guys, we need to move on with the phone call. So, who's on the line?
Okay.
Fuck. Who's on the line? Hello. Where the fuck is 585? 585. You're on the air.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Thank God.
Voter fraud.
Yes, Mr.
That's what Spin sounded like after the accident.
Go ahead, Vinny.
Yeah, so, guys, life is good right
All right, Vinny, fix your phone. I'm gonna hang up, but fix
Get on
your
with it,
phone.
Vinny.
Yeah, get out of here. All right.
Call
Somebody
back
almost.
with a better line, man. What's
Yeah,
wrong with
man.
you?
Yeah.
Stop
Anyways,
streaming your neighbor's internet.
somebody else called in. Call back. Whoever was calling in before. So what are we talking about? The WBC? Yeah. Listen, fuck. I mean, I'm not surprised. But
You
don't
know,
you guys
man.
think that if the WBC comes up with this weight division, the other ones will follow along?
If they
Because I
see
remember
like some
that's
type
how
of
we started with
success,
the cruiserweight. I think it was the WBC, one of those who changed the weight to 200, the limit to 200, and
hey,
then
corruption.
all the others followed.
Corruption.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember this. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. But when cruiserweight started, it was 190 limit, right? But there were certain sanctioned bodies. I don't remember which one that I believe said, yeah, you can compete for cruiserweight at 200 pounds. For
It was
these
later,
guys.
I think.
No, I think they were doing it at the same time, and then they just said,
No,
look,
I think they
it's
were all
stupid.
190, and then one of them changed to 200, and then the other ones followed.
Got you. Right. That's
Yes.
what it was. Okay.
Listen, I never really looked at the cruiserweight division back in the days. I only know about it on ring magazines and boxing magazines because there wasn't any YouTube, so I was like, "What is this
See,
division?"
I mean,
I would just,
I see.
yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
like, I used to watch the cruiserweights with like Glenn McCrory days, man. I mean, it's never been a division that just gets your appetite going. It's only just recently. I mean, that tournament was a decent tournament and got everyone interested again. But I mean, Marco Huck and Ofalabi had three or four good fights. I mean, I can't remember. It might be four now. I think they had four. But you know, this just wasn't a lot around. The problem is the cruiserweight division. A lot of these guys are just too small to be cruiserweights. Or too big, or too small to be heavyweight. So, do you know what I mean? It's just they're too big to be light heavy, sorry, and too small to be heavyweight. So you're just not the jump from cruiserweight to heavyweight. It's too big for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's too big for me.
I vehemently disagree. I think it's one of the best divisions from the very start. You had tremendous all the way throughout, and it's a lot better than heavyweight for me.
I mean,
I remember watching Orlin Norris and Bobby Chiz back in the day.
Oh, Bobby Chiz.
Yeah. Right, guys. I think what they're doing, I think they're bringing this title out there, but to stop the big men dominating the little men. I think that's what's to stop that doing, man. Because we're getting a lot of big heavyweights. It's a horrible sound, but in the background, and we're getting a lot of big heavyweights. They're going in there with small guys who just can't even touch them, can't get near them. It's just becoming unpleasant to watch. I suppose at least when you get two guys in there the same size, it's just more exciting, isn't it? And I think that's what they're trying to do. Stop these little guys. Like, I mean, did anyone ever want to watch Adam in a boxing ring at heavyweight? No, I just didn't.
All right, guys, let's take a phone call.
Like that.
Yeah, that's a good 419. You're on the air. 419. No, he hung up. Call back. But that's a good point. So I mean, sometimes you see. I remember. I mean, I know David Tua had a lot of punching power. But fuck, man, that fight against Lennox Lewis was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen. I think it was only 2 rounds of maybe a little bit like, is he gonna land something? Look, but after that, holy shit! And it was a pay-per-view. Yeah,
it was a terrible fight, wasn't it? But this is the thing. I mean, when you get a big guy and a small guy, I mean, it just doesn't gel well for a start because the big guy is punching down for a start, and the small guy just can't get into range to let his work go. So it just becomes a stalemate. As soon as the little guy gets inside, the big guy just ties him up. And we've seen it so many times. I mean, did anyone ever watch? I mean, of course you watched it. I don't even know why I'm asking, but Tyson Bone Crusher Smith, prime example of just a dreadful matchup in styles. Where I mean, that fight was as bad as it gets, and you just see a lot of that. And maybe that's probably what the road they're going down. Stop these little guys fighting these big guys because we want to. If it's heavyweight, we want to see 2 guys at the same size. I mean, it just doesn't look. I mean, when David Haye fought Valiev, it just didn't look right, did it? It just didn't look right, man. It looked like child abuse in there. I know Valiev was fucking useless, so he couldn't land a punch, but it just didn't look right. A man that size being in with someone that small, and David Haye's quite a big cruiserweight, so he managed to just fit into the heavyweight But there's some of these guys here, they're just fucking eating their way into the division. And it's not the way to go.
But are we going to get more fat heavyweights? Because right now you already have some fat heavyweights that should be cruiserweights. But because of the money's in the heavy division, they out of shape and they just move up in weight.
You're going to get fat heavyweights no matter what, mate. You're just going to get fat heavyweights no matter what. But my point is, I don't think there's enough talent at cruiserweight right now to be worrying about putting a division in between the two. If anything, I would have put a division from light heavyweight to cruiserweight because I think the 20 pounds jump is too much. I think I would go to say 185, a 185 division.
186. I say 186.
Yeah, I mean that would be a better idea for me, and then you'd get some real some of the good guys, moving up from light heavy because a lot of them are too big for light heavy. So they'd move up. You get a lot of them good guys from light heavy move up, and then you'd probably get a few of the guys from cruiserweight are just not big enough go down. That'd be a real solid division, I think.
Will the heavyweight division, the new one, or 125 plus, whatever that is going to be, is it going to become a freak division though?
Well, is it going to make any difference? The thing is,
the pool is going to be
a lot of these guys are not going to make that weight. I mean, look, but even Chizora's not a massive guy when it comes to height, but the guy's like 250, 260. Andy Ruiz, small guy, 250, 260. I mean, a lot of these guys are just too big to be dropping into that division anyway. So I don't get the point of it through it. There's not a lot of fighters that are going to fill that gap, if you get what I'm saying.
And who's going to celebrate being
it's going to be for Usyk, and maybe even Wilder, or like a Dorticos or
but them boys are not going to. Right? Yeah, but them boys want the heavyweight division is what it's all about. The reason these guys are moving up, the reason these guys have moved up. Why would if you dominate division, you can just. Why would you move up? Obviously, because the heavyweight division means a lot more than the cruiserweight division. And this new title is going to mean absolutely nothing to anyone. So I can't see the big guys. I can't see the big guys moving down, but I can see. I think they would have been a lot better doing a 185 division.
And why do cruiserweights move up in? Why do cruiserweights move up in weight? Because they want to become heavy. They want a chance to become heavyweight champions of the world. Now they're going to be pissed off because you're a cruiserweight. You're like, well, now I got to jump through this 225 and then finally get a shot at a heavyweight. Nobody wants to become the Bridger champion. They want to become that heavyweight champion, that historical weight division.
Exactly. And I think what it is, it's just stop a lot of the guys eating their way into the division and just not being good. Because when you eat your way into the division, your performance is gone. And that's when you get a lot of these fat guys, these small fat guys go in there and stink the joint out and look terrible because they're not in fighting shape. They've ate themselves into the division.
Yeah, I think you'll have guys that don't want to cut weight anymore. Period. Like just. A guy like Usyk, it'll give him a place to fight without having to. The thing is, you always have these big fat guys. You always have these super heavyweight dudes. That's just the way it is. But
what's this new division? What's the weight on this new division going to be then?
200 to 224.
See, 200. So 200 is the max, yeah.
225.
225.
Oh, so 224. Yeah, so basically then Deontay Wilder is in trouble then because we all saw what he looked at 220 and he looked terrible.
233.
So he's going to have to be that to be the minimum heavyweight. So he's going to have to be at that weight and it's going to hinder him. So he's in big trouble. Usyk as well. I mean, I'm not sure if Usyk is going to look great putting that sort of weight on. So yeah, maybe that is maybe they just won't go in that. They'll avoid that belt. That's probably what they will do.
Yeah, I mean, you can fight. If you're 201 pounds, you could fight a heavyweight if you want to.
There's a maximum. There's a minimum weight, isn't there, that you can. I mean, like David Hay, I think you had to be 205 to make heavyweight, and if you couldn't make 205, it was too light. Yeah, if you're too light, you can't be a heavyweight. That's the rules. That's why David Hay and all these other guys had to eat their way into division because. And sometimes I heard David Hay was putting weights in his shorts and all sorts and stuff to just because if you didn't make the 205 limit, they couldn't pass you as a heavyweight. You couldn't take the fight.
I thought it was 200 the limit. So
no, I think sometimes it's around 200 and some 205. I think it is 205 to be honest with you.
Well, if you remember when Roy Jones fought,
when
Roy Jones fought,
smells good in here.
John Ruiz, the night of the weigh-in. he was 193, and then
193. Yeah.
The day of the
night
fight,
of the
I
fight,
205. No, I heard that the day of the fight he was 205. No.
He could have been. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is it. But he wasn't 205 though. Nowhere near 205. He had something in his shorts weighing him down.
He had
Look,
he had pants.
The fight had to be,
no wait.
Yeah, the fight had to be made. So that's how they did. Look, that's the rules, man. Because David Hay was saying about it. David Hay was saying, look, he just was never a heavyweight. He just had. There was times when he had to put weights in his shorts and stuff and eat himself into the division. That's not your natural weight. If you're having to eat yourself into a division, mate, you got no business in it.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good weight. You don't want to gain
exactly. That's not athletic weight. That's flab.
Guys, we're gonna take another phone call. Let's see if it works this time. 419. You're on the air. 419.
Hey, okay, what's up, Bucho?
What's up, Tito?
The panel guys.
What's up, Tito?
Hey, man. Hey, a couple weeks ago, you messaged me and told me to get ready for the Kumite. You know, and
D was supposed to debate you. D was supposed to debate you, but he's not here, unfortunately. So, yeah.
He punked out, Tito.
If you want to debate anybody or about anything.
Yeah, well, not like that, but hey, you should have just took the call when he was talking that junk.
I took it. You didn't answer.
We should have just did it right there.
Tell him, Tito. Tell him.
Yeah. Hey, next time he's talking to junk, I'll call.
All right. I don't know. So there was something wrong with the phone lines. But go ahead. What's on your mind?
No, I said the next time when he's talking that junk, I'll call. And then take the call, Bucho.
All right. I will.
All right.
All right.
Tito, what do you think about Canelo?
Hey, it's a good show. Have a good show next time.
All right, Tito. Then call back again next time then.
All right.
I take care.
Later.
Recognize
Tito calls in to tell us, hey, man, take my fucking phone call.
Do it, recognize. Do it, Tito. How's it go?
Hey, man, remember the good old times? When Salvador Sanchez beat Alfredo Gomez? That was some good times, I say.
All right, we got Jimmy on the line. Jimmy. Is that Jimmy? Fuck.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Jimmy, terrible connection.
Terrible? Okay, then hold on. All right, I'm going to listen for a while because I'm in the fucking supermarket. I'll be out in a minute.
All right.
Oh, that's what,
Yeah.
All
right, buddy.
All right, take care.
He sounds like the guy. Have you seen the movie Frequency when he's trying to talk to his dead dad?
Yeah, in the past or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
David Hay has not always walked around at 215. Recently, when he fucking went top heavy and got all pumped up for the ladies, when he fought Bellew, yes. Ladies. But when he left the cruiserweight division, trust me, this is what I mean. Why am I arguing with these fucking clowns? David Hay couldn't even make 205 barely. Why do you think he had to put fucking weights in his shorts for? God, man, that's what I'm saying. My patience is running thin with these fucking
Manny Pacquiao used to wear, when he first started, like 16, 17, 18, they said that he used to put like little like rocks and shit in his fucking pants to just like
Jesus.
To fight at minimum weight or whatever the fuck it was.
I think Sugar Ray Leonard did the same thing against Danny Lalonde. I think he was something put on the shorts.
One of the weirdest fights.
Yeah. Yep. Some bodies are built differently, man. Like some people they when they work out, when they pump weights, they gain weight. Some people when they just they stop doing that, they lose weight. I just did that recently. Like I haven't worked out with weights in over a month. Dude, I'm down to the last time I checked, I was like under 215. I was like, damn, look how fast I dropped that weight. No starvation, no nothing. Just
stop the
weight,
steroids and all that shit.
Yeah, the steroids too.
Guys, we have somebody on stream here. Greco, are you there?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up? What's on your mind? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
What are you talking about?
What are we talking about?
Steroids.
No, we were talking about. Oh, yeah. The division there. What's it called? Bridger division between
Bridger and heavyweight. Yeah, I think it's 225.
Yes.
The weight limit. I think that's what it is.
Nah, fuck, I'm not interested in talking about that. Okay, can I ask something about?
Yes.
So, these new upcoming new guys like Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is now the undisputed lightweight champion, so we can't really call him about being an upcoming guys. But the younger guys, these lightweight guys, they all have if you see the videos of Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia, they love Manny Pacquiao, man, and they always talk about how they want to put up a show, how they want to be like him, how they fought guys like him. They want to start young as fast as possible, and that mentality is starting to kind of see in them, is to see in their character in the ring.
Except Devin Haney.
Yeah, Devin Haney. I mean, he always been a Floyd Mayweather guy. Do you think their mentality of who their being idol is in case of Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia in Manny Pacquiao affects their attitude in the ring in boxing?
Good question. Who wants to take this one?
Yeah, it could. It could sometimes, but before Manny Pacquiao and the Roberto Durans of the world and all these guys, that's what you inspire to be when you're a young kid and you're doing sports and especially boxing. You're like, I want to be the guy that could beat everybody's ass. I mean, who doesn't inspire to be that? And then Manny Pacquiao is one of the guys in recent memory that comes close to that, right? He fought everybody, moved up in weight, many different weight classes, fought all the best guys. Yes, you're gonna lose fights, but he came close to that. He's the closest thing to what young fighters see as the guy who could beat everybody's ass. He's very close to that because there's no such thing as that.
But I'm wondering.
Everybody. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Recognize. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, look, there's no
point.
such thing as you going 100 for 100, right? There's no boxer who's gonna fight a murderous row lineup and beat all those guys. But Manny Pacquiao came close to that. He was one of those guys that came, he went up in different weight classes, beat all the best guys, and fell short a couple of times. So as a young fighter, you look at him as like, damn, I want to be like Manny Pacquiao because he beats everybody just about. He goes in that ring and he beats everyone.
Guys, we have somebody else on StreamYard, Salino El Cocodrilo. Go ahead, Salino.
Cocodrilo.
Salino.
Orale, how you guys doing out there?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, check it out, my man. I'm just gonna hang out back, because every time I come here, you brothers put me on the spot. You always put me on the spot, so I'm just gonna hang back, see what you guys got, and I'll check if I hear
sounds like somebody's choking you when you speak.
Yeah, what the fuck is that voice, man?
Hey, speaking of choking, I want to take my big ass 12-inch dick. I'm gonna choke you out with it. What you gonna do about that, brother?
You mean your 2-inch? You meant to say 2, right?
Hey, can still choke you out, brother.
Hey, where's your Ruquita? Where's your Ruquita? She's still in my house?
Oh!
You wouldn't say that to my face now, would you? Boricua.
How tall are you? Hey, Salino, how tall are you? You sound like you're like 3 feet.
For lunch, breakfast, and dinner. What you think about that, Boricua? Hey, what's all them Boricuas fighters out there, eh? What happened to all them Boricua fighters?
Man, you better look out for Edgar Berlanga.
Brother, how old are you?
Berlanga. What about Berlanga?
That's none of your business. Sounds like you want to get down with Salino. Is that what you want to do? Fucking pervert.
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to get down. I don't want to get down with Salinos.
You guys keep on rock and rolling. I'm just going to hang out back here, and if I hear something that makes no sense, you better believe Salino Cocodrilo is going to come after you.
All right, Cocodrilo. Jesus. You sound like a little woman.
I never tell you guys why they call me Cocodrilo, right? I've told you before.
Why?
Simones. Well, because I got the thick skin. You can't get to me, bruh. And I bite.
It's out of control. All right, Salino.
That's what your Ruquita said. That's what she said, too.
All right. Salino's in the background there. Greco, you were going to say something, I believe?
Yeah, back then in 2019, I've heard of interview of Teofimo Lopez giving reasons why he wanted to fight Lomachenko so much. Like, he said that was something about Lomachenko being his Marco Antonio Barrera back in when Pacquiao fought Barrera in 2003, and he never wanted to get that opportunity be taken by someone else. He wanted that stardom during that age, and maybe that's why he really wanted to pursue for Lomachenko.
That's good. That's good because what I hope he does is doesn't stop there. Meaning, sometimes you could get really, believe it or not, man. Sometimes you could overachieve when you're fixed. When your mind is on one target. So you study this guy. He said, I remember what he said after the fight. Not in the ring, but he said to some magazine. He said he studied. He had studied Lomachenko for 2 years. So I'm going to take him at his word that he's not over-exaggerating when it comes to that, because I do believe he is a student of the game. And, it's a good sign. It's definitely a good sign, even if he was to fall short, from completing some of the things that Pacquiao did. I still salute him because, first of all, I don't even believe Pacquiao thought he could do what he did. He just kept going with the flow. Okay, I beat this guy. Let me fight that guy. I'll beat that. Once I beat that guy, I'll fight the next guy. So he just went with the flow until he became, just this fucking fighting machine. Like he's a guy that could do things and get away with it because of his supernatural speed and doing it over and over and over and over again, creating new ways to throw punches. If you look at Pacquiao, he finds new ways to throw punches, like in almost in every fight, and maybe something that you wouldn't, the average boxer wouldn't do. But he does it. So, even if he was to fall short, that's fine. As long as he goes for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wreaks havoc with that style, man. The in and out, throwing hard, fast shots.
Okay. Thanks. This is the only thing that I'm asking. I think I just welcome that the mentality of these guys no longer has that like Floyd Mayweather mentality. Like, a new kind of mentality, like a Manny Pacquiao mentality, would be a very welcome addition to boxing for up and coming new guys that don't need to duck competition.
Well, you see, one thing that Pacquiao had, he was the complete package, in my opinion. He had speed, he has speed, he has power, and he's got a great chin. And that in and out style, man, especially the chin, I think it's underrated. That makes him just the complete package real dangerous. Because if you don't got that chin, you cannot do the many things that he does. You're gonna get knocked out.
Well, yeah, the only man that was ever close to stopping Manny Pacquiao, I meant stopping, not getting knocked out, was Eric Morales back in the first fight. And there hasn't been any point where Pacquiao close to look on being stopped right now. But I think that's gonna be close somewhere down the line.
You had to sing a pattern there. Are you seeing the pattern? Who almost stopped Pacquiao every time?
Oh, damn.
Simon.
Los Mexicanos.
We're the best fighters out there, I say. We produce them the best. Now some people say, hey, Salino, you Guatemalan. Wait, what you saying Mexican for? Well, yeah, it's the same thing.
Hey, Salino, you forget the 10-year reign of Pacquiao shooting on Mexicans.
You forget to put some respect on Salino Cocorilo's name. That's what you're forgetting. Put some respect on my name, mister.
He's a nobody.
10-year reign of Manny Pacquiao destroying Mexicans in the ring. The Mexicans actually gave Manny Pacquiao the Mexican title.
That's a good point. He did beat a lot of Mexicans. Come on.
Which Mexicans did he beat? The B-listers, like Solis and the other guy, Wajanato and Cocodrilo. No. He didn't fight none of the best. When he stepped up, what happened, I say? Juan Manuel Marquez knocked his ass out.
He beat Barrera. He beat Morales.
Margarito should have beaten him too, but they rolled his ass too. They put something in Pacquiao's gloves. That's why he fucking...
You're just a hater.
I think
But make no mistake about it, man. Pacquiao keep fighting the top guys, he will get stopped, man.
Everybody does. That's what he did get stopped. Gonzalo. He kept fighting. He's saying Marquez.
If he fight, I think Gonzalo said if he fights now, the top guys, he might get.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Yeah, because the caller said that nobody's coming close right now. Well, he's getting older, right? Pacquiao's 42 now, man. He's gonna be 42.
Yeah, Cocolino. You're forgetting he's 42, bro.
Yeah. Coco what? It's Cocodrillo. I said, put some respect on my name.
Oh, I thought I said Cocotazo.
That's what you get when you go to Puerto Rican schools.
He's 42, man.
Okay,
So
okay, guys. That's it. I just wanted to hear what your take on
all right.
this. Thanks for the call.
All right, take care. We're gonna take another phone
Manny
call.
Manny Pacquiao is the greatest of all time, in my opinion.
He has. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll talk about
it. Could be.
Yeah, 917. You're on the air. 917.
Yo, what's going on, BDA? Shall recognize, man, my fellow Queens resident, man. It's been a while since I called in.
No doubt, Queens, brother.
By the way, this is Bucho, by the way,
man,
but
I'm
go ahead.
gonna say something that people don't like, but I have to confess. I'm gonna start with this premise, okay? We go to the Philippines. Who do we root for? Who do Filipinos root for?
Pacquiao.
Okay, Pacquiao. Okay, good. We go to Mexico. Who are they rooting for?
They root for the Mexican fighters.
Canelo, but this Gonzalo,
So
go ahead.
But there's some that hate
Alvarez,
Canelo.
usually.
Keep this in
Yeah,
mind.
exactly.
There's
I can't even.
Everybody,
don't
man.
like him.
Everybody.
Yeah.
We
There's
go
some
to
Mexicans that don't like him.
Ukraine. We go to Ukraine. Who are they rooting for?
I mean, they
The
have
Ukrainian
Lomachenko,
fighters, yeah.
the Usyk. I guess Lomachenko is more popular.
They hated Triple G, boy. At the
Okay,
Garden.
normal.
All right.
And we go to England. Who are they rooting for? Tyson Fury. So why is it in America when we have somebody from England fighting the first world heavyweight champions is Mike Tyson from America, Deontay Wilder? We can't wait for them to lose.
Hey, mate, there's no
America.
fucking Oscars being nominated tonight, mate. Forget the fucking act and just get on with the comment. But talking like some fucking idiot, man. What is wrong with you, man? Drama
All right,
queen.
no, okay, but you heard what I said.
No, we get your point.
Deontay Wilder.
No,
What
I
if it's
get
a
what he's
fucking
saying.
audition for a movie or something?
All right.
There's no
Hold on.
Oscars getting nominated.
Let's answer the question. That's a good question, caller. That's a good question. Why isn't Deontay Wilder liked by some people in the U.S. just like why isn't Canelo liked in Mexico? Because I know how.
Can I tell you from my point of view?
Yes.
I don't like his character. His character is bad for me. It's just his technique. Yes, it's poor. It's not. When I as a boxing fan, you're gonna find different reasons why people like it. Me, I love it for the technique, and he lacks that.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, he's not my kind of bro.
Why not?
You understand?
But
what I'm
why
saying?
not?
He's not my kind of. He's not my kind of guy.
What has he said?
He would be a guy I won't. He would be a guy that I don't like in person. Like he's just a weird character. He has a weird energy about him.
Because
then his fans,
his
fans make it even worse. Like his fans make it worse. Now you shouldn't judge him on that, but you add the combination together. Me personally, I don't like. I can't lie and say I like Deontay Wilder.
All right.
Thank you for your genuine assessment. That's a very genuine, good answer. But now I'm going to speak on behalf of myself. The reason why I'm always out here, always screaming for Wilder, isn't because I'm some type of fanboy. Because I think I used to be pretty racist myself. I can only speak on behalf of myself. I'm not saying any of you guys are racist, but I found myself to be racist in the past. I find myself rooting against black fighters, not wanting to watch basketball because they're all black. I feel like basketball is boring to me because they're all black, and I can't relate. And and I did some reflection, and I thought, wow, maybe I'm low-key racist, and I feel like I came out of that, and that's why this whole time I've been such an advocate for guys like Wilder. That's.
So you're overcompensating, man. Don't overcompensate.
Maybe in a slight way, Gonzalo's right. Maybe you're a little overcompensated. But look, again, people don't like other people for different reasons. It depends on you. Like, I can't. I mean, if you're honest about it, hey, cool. But there's plenty of reasons in boxing and sports why look, I'm not gonna lie, I love baseball because I see mad guys that look like me in baseball. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys, but that's not the only reason.
I love
why.
baseball.
Yeah, I always tell people, the best player to ever play, the best player I've ever seen, and I've been watching sports for a long time. I'm a pretty older guy. The best player I've ever seen was Barry Bonds. That's the best baseball player, single position player that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
But then people could argue his character, right, for him cheating. Then people could say that he has character flaws for having been dishonest in sports.
Right. But he wasn't. I mean, if people understand what was going on back then, you would know that he's definitely not the only one. Everybody was doing it, so he was in equal. He was in equal competition. He was just that he was so good that he stood far and above most people.
I recognize. Can I jump in here, man? Because the caller started by saying that, well, in the Ukraine, people root for Ukrainian fighters. In the England, they root for British fighters, which isn't true, by the way, because just ask Stu about Amir Khan. A lot of people hate the guy over there, especially after his tour in those reality shows. The fact of the matter is, because I don't know what the caller was trying to get at when he said, when the caller said, I used to be racist, and I think that's why people dislike other people. You can dislike, just because you dislike somebody, it has nothing to do with race. Bucho made the great question, which nobody answered, which was, why does Deontay Wilder rub people the wrong way? Well, let's take a look at the list. The guy talks a lot. He's very abrasive. He says he wants to kill people. He goes after all his opponent's wives. He says he wants to give birth to a child himself. He starts twerking. He starts accusing a guy of all sorts of cheating without demonstrating a shred of evidence. Right. So, I mean, if you dislike a guy like that, it has to be because of race.
His brother is an asshole. Yeah. He's hanging out with him. Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking brother of his who gets slapped by a gusher win. I mean, this is the thing, man. I can guarantee through my experience in life, right? When you get these 90 guys that
seconds. Jeez.
Usually when a guy's shouting in your face and bouncing around, acting tough, it's usually because they can't fucking throw hands and they try to scare people out away from fighting them. If you just stand there in front of them, they won't want it. Land one on the butt and they're sleeping like he is. But Deontay become one of the biggest pieces of shit in boxing by a country mile as well. I mean, there's just no one that gets close. When BDA just started reeling off them things that he's done, you just forget what a piece of shit this guy is.
Fucking Christ. All right, we get the good points too.
He's out boxing the butter.
Hey, caller, thanks for calling. We're gonna move on. All right.
Last point is.
Okay, go ahead. Last point.
All right. My last point. I feel like the nature of boxing, the sport, lends itself to tribalism. I feel like as compared to team sports, maybe you get less of a racial allegiance. But when it comes to boxing, people tend to be more sensitive just because of the nature of the competition.
Yeah, it's a one-on-one. Yeah, of course.
I agree. I agree with that. That's a good that's a good way of putting it. I mean, it's kind of natural to see that. Yeah.
All right, caller. Good point. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Shout out to Queens, bro.
Yeah, 314. You're on the air. 314.
I don't know. Was that fucking Kevin? It wasn't Kevin, was it?
It wasn't Kevin.
I got lost doing some stuff.
It wasn't
Kevin. Was that Kevin?
No.
Are you saying Kevin from Queens?
Well, anyway, I'm the 314. My name is Wes. Anyway, sorry for yesterday, Stu. Like, I love all you guys. You guys are all great. But an asshole like that guy, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of softness. I'm a white dude with mixed kids from a big city. I'm tired of this. I feel like I might now should feel this way because I'm white. Fuck you, dude. Like, that dude's lame. That dude's whack. I'm tired of it. Like, hey.
Who are you talking about?
He's talking about Kevin.
I really liked Tyson Fury for a long time. Till this whack ass, I have head trauma, or I have depression. And my favorite fighter is Joshua right now. Or Usyk. One of those two. Race is going to play a factor, but you know what else plays a factor? At some point, you read their story and decide afterwards. Like, up front, race is the first factor. Well, read a little bit.
Yeah, but no one on this show dislikes Deontay Wilder because he's a black man. I can assure you that's not.
He's
the
talking
reason
about Kevin.
I
don't know if Kevin. Listen.
No, listen. You don't. Just be quiet, Butcho, because I'm sick of you fucking in the background like a parrot.
About his preaching.
I'm talking to Kev. I'm just saying.
This isn't Kevin. That's what we're trying to tell you. This isn't Kevin.
Well, it doesn't matter. Do you know what? I don't care who it is. Whoever it is.
Okay.
No one doesn't like Wilder because he's a black man. It's because of the things he does. I'm not saying you saying that, but a lot of people think there's racism in boxing. I don't see it. I don't fucking see it, man. I just don't.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm a
Can
guy
I say
with mixed
something?
kids. I
Okay,
don't
hold on.
dislike anybody for that. But I
Listen.
dislike a dude
Yeah,
who
caller.
runs his mouth
What's his name
about his
again?
race.
All right, caller, listen,
said
hold on.
West,
Listen. We're getting all confused here. Yeah, it's truth's right. Listen, Kevin's not here. We agree with you, so what's the point, you know? Like, yeah, we get it. Like,
Well,
listen.
whoever the last caller was, I thought it was
Oh,
Kevin.
yeah,
Whoever the last caller
yeah.
was.
Forget
It's
these people.
I thought I was racist because I ain't
Forget
like
about these
Wilder.
people.
That's retarded.
All right.
Like,
Well,
grow
listen,
up,
let's move on.
grow a pair, read about people.
All right.
Hey, by the way, hold on. You say you had mixed kids?
Yeah.
Is Wes still there?
Yeah.
Wes,
Yeah,
do you
I'm
have
right
mixed
here.
You said you have mixed kids?
Yeah, I
Is that
got
what you said?
mixed kids.
Okay, Bucho, hang up on
Is
him.
Wesley Mitchell?
What'd you say you
Is this
broke
Wesley
up?
Mitchell from the chat?
I'm kidding.
All right,
I'm
caller,
kidding,
thanks
I'm
for
kidding.
calling in. All right, we're going to move on.
Yeah, is that Wesley Mitchell from the chat? Is that
Take
who
it.
is?
Maybe, man. Yeah, maybe
I
it
don't
is.
know,
Yeah,
man.
maybe it's him.
No, that's
I got
Wesley
confused. I
Snipes.
thought it was Kev.
Wesley
That's
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah,
Maybe it's Wes, the guy who does those prison videos.
Oh, that guy's funny. What's his name? Wes something though. His name's Wes something, isn't it?
Jimmy knows. I think Jimmy knows.
Yeah, he's a funny
Jimmy's
guy.
not
That
there,
guy.
man.
When he tells a story, right? Was he
Alright.
part of the Aryan Brotherhood or something?
Probably.
yeah,
I mean,
man. He looks
He
like
was.
it.
No, he was. He was part of the Aryan
Well, he
Brotherhood.
has no
He was one of
choice.
the top guys. There.
Jeez, Louise.
Hey, ringside, Charlie says mixed step kids. He says, okay.
Okay.
Is that him? No, he
Look.
isn't the one who called in. But anyways,
Look, no one on this show, I can assure you, no one on this show, no one on this panel has ever disliked a fighter for the colour of their skin. I can assure you.
no.
It just has not. You're just not getting it here, mate. These people might come on here and think that that's how we think because we don't play to their narrative. We keep it real, and sometimes when you keep it real, you're called a racist. Donald Trump will tell you that. So look. I've just not seen it in all the years I've been on this show. I've not seen one person come on here and say I don't like that guy because he's a black guy. And mostly when someone says on this show they don't like someone, they've got a reason. I mean, do you tell me something to like about Deontay Wilder? I mean, Joshua, I've backed that guy's corner for months and years. But when he started bringing out all that fucking racist shit about, only go to black businesses. Oh, but you better stick that then. Only have black people pay your pay-per-views and see how you get on.
I remember
Do you know what I
when
mean?
he lost to Andy Ruiz, you were
hypocritical
pissed
shit.
off. So,
when
he lost to Andy Ruiz, Joshua did, you were pissed off. So,
of course I was pissed off. Look, I'm a Joshua fan. I've backed him all the way. But when he starts, when sportsmen start bringing politics into stuff, no matter whether you believe it or not, I just turn off them. I just think it's corny as fuck. Look at the football or the soccer you guys call it, man. Every before the whistle blows, all on one knee. There's all the big Black Lives Matter signs in the corner. Get that shit out of our sport, man. Look,
Killing it.
It's killing it. Look, and I don't blame black people for this either. I don't blame anyone. I blame the corny Marxist fucking media that are drilling this. The more you throw it in people's faces, the more it's going to get people riled up.
Yeah,
trust me. Because if you think doing all that's making people think, oh yeah, because they kneeled, I'm going to get rid of my racism today. It's not going to happen. They're getting more angry because they're seeing it. So,
but you know what, man? You know what, Stu? This thing when people say, because I've heard that a lot of other YouTubers say that, or people on YouTube say, when they say, well, boxing is tribal and it's okay to root for the guy that you share the same race with. I'm thinking maybe they're just trying to justify their point of view. Because listen, when I was young, when I was early teens, I would look at a Mexican fighter coming up and I would go, oh, that guy's, he's Mexican. But that's because I was a kid. By the time I'm in my early 20s, I'm no longer rooting it for a guy just because he's Mexican. For example, Canelo. I was rooting for Triple G in the rematch because Canelo's character was rubbing me. Yeah, it was rubbing me the wrong way.
I remember when Steve Collins fought Eubank and Penn. What you think I was? Do you think I wanted Steve Collins to win? Do you think I wanted? Do you think I? I wanted Eubank to beat Calzaghe, for fuck's sake. I wanted Joshua to beat Klitschko. When I was growing up as a boxing fan, race didn't come into my mind. It just never crossed my mind. I never looked at a guy and thought I want him to win because he's white. It's only when I started mixing with Americans on YouTube is when all this shit started to. You started to see it, and you started to, and then they sort of like put it onto you where you starting to pick your fighters because of the colour of the skin. It sort of makes you racist being around these fucking people. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I had to get away from the boxing community because it was so toxic at the time, where it got to a stage where I was becoming the person they wanted me to become because they were driving me to that. and that's why I had to get away. And look, you'll enjoy boxing a lot more when you can look at it and pick a guy, not from the color of his skin, but for how he fights. You'll enjoy it more. Trust me.
That's a good point. Great point, man.
I was watching Pacquiao Marcus 4 in downtown Tijuana in a bar called El Hong Kong, where there's a lot of cartel members, man, in La Coahuila. And I was going for Pacquiao, man, but he got knocked out.
Shit. Did you not say? Oh no, wait. You did. Anyways, Renel De Leon, thank you for your contribution.
It's all right, man. You can celebrate. A lot of Mexicans like Triple G. A lot of Mexicans. You got to remember, these guys gone to Mexico City and they got fans by the droves, man.
Yeah. Rene Leon, thank you for your contribution. Also, G Boogie, thank you for your contribution. He says Cocodrilo needs to jump in a 4-foot pool, but he might drown.
Oh,
that's true. So that guy's weird, man. I don't even know why I took.
He's annoying. I don't know why you keep blaming him on, man.
I don't know. But anyways, phone lines are closed, guys. Maybe we should end the show. Keep it that slim.
Hey, by the way, I am presently working on the Brooke Crawford film analysis that we can do together. So might be finished by tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to do it early, 4 p.m. So whoever wants to jump in, we'll take a look at the clips from Brooke's fights, Crawford's fights, and see if Kell Brook has a shot pulling the upset.
I think
tomorrow morning, BDA.
No. Same time, around the same time.
4 p.m. Well, for me, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
4 p.m. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, 4 p.m. Okay, got you.
Oh, Jimmy's
here.
So
is the show over now? So
Almost,
is the show over?
Yeah.
Well, there's man, I got to listen.
Show tomorrow, man. We're gonna have
Jimmy's got one of them fucking Jamaican watches on anyway. He's always late.
Hey, let's do a second Renaissance Top Politics again, man.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not. If I go on there, Butcho can't be on the same
Don
show.
Lemon.
He can't.
He calls me the Don Lemon of the Renaissance, man.
Butch Lemon will have to stay at home that night.
That's such an insult.
I've been hanging on the show. I've been here for about an hour. Listen, I just couldn't. You couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
So I just been flying. But no. Listen, Wilder got. Listen, my only word on this is Wilder embraced the LDBC. He embraced the racial aspect of it. So when he lost, it's more than just a boxing match to him. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't have the mental strength to subvert the fucking clowns pushing his psychosis. And it's actually sad. He's gonna get worse before it gets better with him. But that's just my theory on it.
Yeah, good point.
But all right, gentlemen, all you guys be good. I'll talk to you tomorrow night.
All right, take care, Jimmy. Everybody else also take care, guys. See ya. Everybody in the chat as well, thank you for joining us. We will see you. I guess BDA said tomorrow he's gonna do a type of like a film analysis for the Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook fight. So stay tuned for that. And yep, we'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Well, let's give a shout out. Wisdom E in the chat. Hawker Mustang, Claudio Monreal, Carlos Mendoza, Wisdom E. I don't say his name. Lobito, of course. Gonzalo's there. The Quacks. MG42 Pillbox. Who else do we have? John Gonzalez. Wesley Mitchell. Box, of course. Saint Brit. Hard Recall, guys. See you next time, all right? Take care.